I sold my soul to the bottle. Still none of my friends have left me yet. I'm the same man I was since the age of 13, and I've lived my life with no regrets. If you're looking for some freedom, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum. If you're looking for rhyme or reason, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum.
Oh, well, we're live. I'm trying to share it, but I don't know. The Facebook is such a fucking weird thing now.
I think I was using it just now. Maybe.
No. But like, I'm used to, you could just click on a little thing and it would take you to the, like, share it as you. You know what I mean? Now it's like they've done this whole thing where they have a whole new like page for specific. Yeah, see, it's all fucked up right now. I don't know. They take you to like your business page is what they do. You know what I mean? Let me see if I can figure this shit out. I don't want to be on the business page. There we go. See? It's all fucked up. It's weird. Anyway, we have Hollyanne back with us today.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it.
Mm,
I'm happy to be here.
yeah.
It's been weird without you guys.
Yeah?
It's been real weird.
How does that work?
It barely works.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
It's good to know that we are integral.
yeah.
You are integral. I'm excited to be here. I was a little nervous.
Really?
Which is funny because I
Nice.
did this for 4 years with
Right?
you guys.
I know, that's weird. But I mean, it's not that hard, right?
No.
What have you been up to?
Momming.
Ew.
I
Just
know.
kidding.
Lots of momming. I got new spectacles.
Oh,
I got them
see.
today.
And they're not white?
They're
Weird.
not. I have another pair that's like mint green,
Mhm.
and Hamster was like, I don't think you should wear those. You'll look like you're matching or copying Chris.
Oh, with the mint
So-
green?
Well, they're like really light.
Oh.
So
People are doing this thing now. It's now happened now twice. So now they're doing it, right? So the first band was Get Action. They I was in the crowd, and the lead singer's like, "It's Chris in the crowd," and he put his like fucking white framed sunglasses on. So then the other night I'm at Sister Bar, and it was this weird pop-up thing where they were filming a documentary of the guy that did the pop-up.
Oh, the noodle guy?
Yeah. Was that his name?
I think it is Noodle Man or
Noodle Man.
something.
And
like that.
anyway, the red light camera's up there, and fucking Barney puts on white sunglasses, and then he's like, "Oh, it was Chris in the crowd." He points at it and then they're like, "Ooh," like, and I'm like, I like stand up like I'm all, "Why you kids?" So the thing, that Noodle guy, man, I don't get it. Man, they were like filming a documentary about him.
I think he like did a show.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
I ate the noodles and I was like, $15 for pad thai seems a little high, but
Yeah.
these weren't that. I mean, they were fine. I wouldn't have like. It's not like one of those things where if I follow him on Twitter and I'm like, "Oh fuck, he's gonna be at this place," and I zoom over there. I don't. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't get it, but yeah.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
There's a guy that they call him the Noodle Man or something. Anyway, they did a pop up at Sister. And it was free to get in, and the red light cameras played for free, which is not normal because they usually probably they charge to.
They harness part of your soul as a fee for entrance.
Yeah, and
you thank them for.
They had a pop up. He was there like with his walks, and he was making just pad thai for like $15, and they had a whole camera crew like filming him doing some sort of documentary, and I was just like, "What's the I don't know, whatever, hey." More power to him than he's getting a documentary made about him.
Right. I mean, cool. I think it's a show. I'm not sure though.
Could be. Yeah.
And like he goes to different places.
Yeah. So what's been going on with you? Like besides momming?
Oh man. I started a new podcast.
Oh, that's okay.
Wow.
Sorry guys, I can't do this one anymore because I have my own.
No.
How it is.
I knew
Uh-huh.
it was gonna
Busted.
come up. No. It was funny because I quit doing this podcast to go and do mom things, be with the kids more. And my mom friend and I were talking one day, and she was like, "Hey, do you have any podcasts you listen to?" I was like, "Well, I listen to 10 Drink Minimum every week." But we were talking about that there wasn't a lot of mom podcasts that were relatable.
Yeah.
Like every one of them that I listened to, and maybe there are some out there, and I just didn't find them.
Mm-hmm.
But every single one of them was like, "I'm going to Maui tomorrow." You know, like
this is mommy on a mission where like I do fun things, but I'm still a parent.
Yeah,
yeah,
which is fine, but it's not relatable and it's not everyday life. And so we were like talking about that, and she goes,
it's almost like those people who you're like, they work at like a Wendy's, but they're always like traveling somewhere,
Yeah.
and you're like, how in the fuck are you traveling all the time?
Right.
Do you sell drugs on the side? What?
Right. And we, it was just a lot of them.
My life. You're describing my life.
Yeah, you don't travel all the time.
I used to.
No, I'm talking like they're like, you'll see on their Facebook, and then one thing they're in Hawaii, then all of a sudden they're in like Boston, and then you're like, what in the fuck,
like,
man?
when do you work?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of like that. And it was funny because my friend Mandy, our kids play together. She was like, well, why don't we start our own? And, people say that a lot and then they don't follow through. So I kind of didn't take it serious. And that was on a Saturday. And on Wednesday, she had already done everything. And she was like, hey, at our play date, we're going to record a podcast. And I was like, holy okay. All right. So I guess we're doing this.
Has it taken off? Are you wealthy yet?
No. No. I think we have, a few listeners. But, it's been fun. And we talk about real things, and our kids are usually screaming in the background.
Oh, yeah.
Her husband works for the news, though, so he edits out a lot of that. But yeah, so I've been doing that. I have like a crazy busy month for the first time in a while, so that's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much what I've been doing.
You still doing the Sunday comedy thing on once a month?
Oh, no, we're not doing that anymore.
No? Uh-oh.
Let me tell you what happened, Christopher.
So I was like, you didn't show up for any of the shows.
No,
that's what I was like. I kept looking for it. I was like, I'm gonna go.
So
not enough people showed up.
I think like it was a combination of things. So I think a lot of my friends were like, "Oh, I'll get the next one."
Yeah, that's what I did. I'm sorry. That's
no, it's
fault.
fine. But then we had a douche bring his like small children to the comedy show, and then he got mad. And then, so it was just really
hard. The language, or
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't real specific. It might have been that I like kind of
called him a piece of shit to his face,
pointed him out. Yeah, I don't know. But I think it was also really hard to find the demographic for it.
Okay.
So, but I am doing a show at Dry Heat on the 30th.
Oh, nice.
And I'm going to be there the 30th of this month. I'm going to be doing this thing where we riff off of like on the projector is going to be a city, and we have to riff off where we think we are.
Oh.
So that should be fun. And
what do you mean, like where you are?
Like on the projector will be like some place.
Oh, okay.
And you have to like make jokes about that. So that sounds fun.
Oh, okay. Not like a map of it.
No. Like a picture.
Oh, I see. Interesting.
Yeah.
And did you do any of the Funny Fiesta?
Okay.
If it makes you feel any better, I didn't go to any of the Funny Fiestas.
It's okay. Here's what happened. I forgot to apply to either of the comedy festivals, and it wasn't like
the Cloud Top or whatever.
Yeah, and they happened I
didn't go to that either.
Yeah, I was up in Santa Fe.
Chris, you're off of his game, man. I didn't go to any of these things.
Well, I went to stuff. I just didn't go to that stuff.
I'm kidding, man.
There was a lot of stuff going on the last couple of weeks, but I straight up just forgot that it was happening and that I needed to apply to it, and nobody invited me. So,
well, I mean,
that's fine.
Yeah,
that's how life goes. That's what happens. It's called consequences for procrastination.
True.
I
mean, I'll let you know, Smiley. Friday night, I was at the Guild watching a double feature.
Who was at the Guild?
It was The Room
Oh, I saw that.
with Greg Sestero, and the first movie was his new movie that's come out, a horror film that he wrote and directed.
Ooh.
What's it called? Miracle Valley.
Yeah.
That was the opening movie, and then The Room was second. So
I saw that. I saw that. In
the first movie was not sold out, but it was 3/4 full, and then The Room was like there was actually people standing up because they didn't have enough seats for
That's
them.
crazy.
But yeah.
And then I don't know what else have I been doing. But there's been like some crazy stuff with the comedy scene.
Mm-hmm.
Drama. I don't know if I want to get into it.
I feel left out here. I'm gonna get my glasses.
Okay, go get them.
Go get your glasses.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, Danny started soccer, so I'm a soccer mom now.
Soccer mommy.
And Hamster signed up to be the coach because they needed a coach. And I feel for him because teaching 6-year-olds how to play a sport,
yeah,
really difficult.
Does he wear a tracksuit?
No.
Does he have a whistle?
I think he has a whistle.
Oh.
But there's a girl on the team that she will just stop in the middle of a game and pick flowers.
Oh, of course there is.
And
good for her.
She'll walk off the field in the middle of the game and never come back.
That's illegal.
It's called whimsy.
It's whimsical. She's very whimsical.
She will be the artist of the group.
Yes. And then Danny is like, I don't know. Sometimes she's really into it, but most of the time she's just fucking off.
Oh.
Does not give a shit.
She's just a lollygagger.
Oh yeah.
So what position does she play?
So at this age, they don't give them positions because
that
they're
doesn't
still
seem like
learning.
an effective way to play a game.
I know. It's because they're still learning. So here's the thing, Smiley.
They're learning how to kick the ball.
Learning how to kick the ball in the right goal and run in the right direction.
Is there a shitty parent yet?
Yeah.
There's one that's like, my kid is clearly better than all the rest of the kids.
No, so there's this girl on our team who's really wicked good, and her parents are awesome.
Okay.
But she started like late in the season.
Oh, she's the ringer.
Yeah. Oh my God, is she the ringer? Her first game, she got 6 goals.
Holy shit!
She can
That's
dribble
a double
the ball.
hat trick.
Yeah, like she could dribble the ball around people, and she's awesome.
She's like that kid that's on TikTok juggling the soccer ball with his finger. Yeah. Just like, geez, that kid's gonna be burnt out.
And her parents are so nice and super awesome. But the girl that I was saying that's like really obnoxious, her mom is horrible.
Oh, lovely.
Like she just is like, she doesn't think she has to come to practice. She shows up to games whenever she feels like it. Yeah. Like, I don't know.
When they have the press conference, the little girl's all practice. We're talking about practice right now. Billy would love that joke. You guys don't get it.
I don't get it.
That was an Allen Iverson ref. Like apparently he would like barely show up to practice, but then he would kick ass in games. But then the coaches would get mad because he wouldn't practice. So in the press conference, they were like talking about practice, and he like for like 10 minutes, he's like, "Practice. We're talking about practice, not a game. Practice." And it just keeps. It's like very famous. Yeah.
Man.
But it just reminded me of that because you're like, she doesn't come to practice and expects to play.
Yeah.
You know.
And Hamster was like, I'm going to tell her that if she doesn't show up to practice, she doesn't get to play. I said, Hamster?
It's a little girl.
She is 6.
Yeah,
okay.
She doesn't drive.
A lot of times I have to be like, they are 6.
Yeah.
Because and then there's like another dad coach person, and he is like ex-military and really cool, really nice guy, but his daughters fuck off a lot too. And he will just scream at them.
Oh boy.
Like, you're running the wrong way.
Oh, and it's just at his kids, and he's just like insane. I remember those. I remember there was always a kid that their dad would be there, or their dad would be the assistant coach.
Yeah.
And they would be so much harder on their kid than anyone else. And it was like almost like painful.
Yeah, it's
how bad
too much.
They were. Yeah.
It's too much. But he like
get off your ass, you dumb motherfucker. And you're like, ooh.
I think Hamster's having a hard time because he just wanted Danny so badly to be like into soccer.
Yeah. Is she or no?
I don't know. I can't tell. I think
Mhm.
she likes the idea of soccer. I think she likes the idea of
Yeah.
playing soccer, but the actual like process of getting good at soccer, she is like, fuck this.
She's more into softball, let's say.
I don't think she's into anything
I'm just
where
kidding.
anybody tells her what to do.
Did you let her know that
Yeah.
eventually you get to hit the other players?
Yeah.
I mean, no,
Kinda.
because here's the deal. She's mean. Danny is turning. You guys haven't been around Danny in a little bit. She's kind of turning into the mean girl, and
That's what I was saying. Did you let her know that eventually you get to hit the other players?
no, because you know what she'll do is she'll start just ramming into people now and be like, "I'm advanced." She's gotten in this phase, and maybe it's a phase, maybe it's just her personality. I can't tell, but she literally loses her mind if you tell her she's wrong. Loses her mind. She's like, "No, I'm not wrong. You're wrong." Like, okay, no, but I think actually you're 6 and you know nothing.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm sorry. What advanced degrees do you have in that?
I know, right? She's been trying to be my manager of my comedy career.
Oh.
That's and basically what she told me.
Oh, that's why you didn't get in those festivals.
Yeah.
Your assistant
Basically,
did not remind you.
yeah, she didn't. Well, basically, what she told me is I need to stop telling jokes with boy comedians, which she's not wrong.
Oh wow.
But she was like, I don't think boys are funny. And
wow, it's really flipped. Men are not funny now.
I know. Well, at least in Danny's mind,
No,
men are not.
No. She's probably right.
I mean,
yeah,
she's right.
Every
She's
time I
totally
say
right.
something and someone laughs, I'm astounded.
Yeah, they have cooties.
That
Men
can't
have
be correct.
cooties.
Oh man, yeah. You guys want some cheese, mate?
Oh fucking hey! You know, I
Yes.
mean, look what you're asking.
Yeah. So
You know, I want the cheese, man.
there was a comedian who is not good. Not
I
not
already
good.
know who it is.
I don't know that you do.
Mm.
It's Kurt Fletcher. No, just kidding. So this guy, like, first of all, he got banned from Founders because he threatened to do a mass shooting. Like, he was just
yeah.
casually.
Then I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he was
Yep.
just casually talking about it in a very small bar with one exit,
Yep.
right?
Mhm.
And like, depending on what side of the mass shooting you're on, it's either like really a bad place for a mass shooting or
Right.
really a perfect place for a mass shooting. And so Founders didn't take that lightly.
No.
You know,
No,
like,
they wouldn't. Yeah.
Founders is like, well, maybe you should not come in here anymore. That's not good. And so I have always kind of gotten the serial killery vibe from him.
Yeah.
So I was always really nice to him, so that like if he did decide
You're
to do
the
something,
second person who's told me this exact same thing.
Oh god,
That they treat him the same way.
I was like, I just don't want him to lose it and go crazy. And for months now, I've been like, this guy's a ticking time bomb. Like, well, last Wednesday, he went to Dry Heat, started a fight with Steph Darnell. And if you don't know Steph Darnell, he was on
the show. We had him on the show.
Yeah.
3 shows ago, probably.
Dang,
Yeah.
I missed that one.
Yep.
But so he's a big dude.
Yeah.
And not only is he a big dude, but like he was in the military and he protects who he loves, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And he's not a person that I would be like, you know who I'm going to piss off today? Steph Darnell. And so I guess he like started something with him and then they banned him from Dry Heat. And then he went to Red Door and was getting kind of stabby. Like he was trying to stab people.
In the fuck?
What the?
And yeah, so apparently he has a hit list of comedians now.
Oh wow. I'm not on this, am I? Does anyone know?
I don't know.
Does anyone have an idea?
I don't even know.
I don't know. Have I said bad things about him? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think so. I think he's a swell guy.
Yeah, she's definitely gonna stab me now. It's fine. But so I bring all this up because Hamster was like, "Oh, so you're gonna go to 10 Drink and then you're gonna do the open mic?" And I said, "Yeah." He's like, I don't know. I'm really worried about it. Blah blah blah. I was like, I'm not scared. I let Founders know. So if anybody is listening to this and you're scared to come to the open mic, Founders knows. They have a picture. But I also think
They have
like
a picture on the wall. He's 86th.
I don't know. I sent them a picture.
This guy is 86th.
But I bring all this up because like Hamster really wanted me to cancel the open mic.
Oh, gotcha.
And I was like, yeah, but then aren't we kind of telling him
He won.
he won?
Yeah.
Like
He's a winner.
he's not a winner. No
I
part
think
of
he's just
him.
a swell guy. Myself.
I don't think he's a swell guy. I'm tired. So I also have been watching the Jeffrey Dahmer.
I haven't
thing.
watched this yet.
So good.
I've heard mixed. I've heard people are saying it's bad for the family. It's like,
Well, so I'm gonna say this.
Mhm.
Because I'm friends with Eric Carter Lundeen,
Yeah.
and he is like really about ethical true crime. I did pause before watching it.
Mhm.
And then Crystal watched it, and she was saying that when you think of Jeffrey Dahmer, you never think of his victims.
right.
We didn't really hear a lot about his victims, not when it was happening and not
Kinda.
later.
I mean,
well,
I knew about the Asian kid that he like drilled his head.
well,
with
yeah,
a
but
drill.
that was like
Yeah.
late, you know.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. This show is highlighting that he probably would have been caught sooner
Mhm.
had he not gone after minorities.
Yeah.
Because they do a really, really good job of doing it from the victim standpoint of like really following their stories. And you see that there are plenty of people who told the cops,
Right.
like, this
No.
guy is fucked
They
up.
did.
And
The cops even took one of the dudes back to him.
yeah, oh,
Yeah.
he was a 13 or 14-year-old boy.
Yeah, that's the one he drilled in. He did
Yeah.
the drill in the head. Yeah.
And he almost killed that kid's brother. Also,
Mm.
his brother had gotten away from him. But anyway, like, here's the deal. It shows very clearly that the cops took his side because he was white
Yep.
and he looked, you know, normal, I
Well,
guess.
he also. Well, I mean, to be honest, too. Like, if you study, like, especially, well, not now, but in those days, you study serial killers.
Yeah.
That's not the profile. The profile
No.
was like, was middle-aged white male that goes after women.
Yeah.
It wasn't like middle-aged white male that goes after mixed race of like men.
Yeah. And I think also like there was a lot of homophobia, which it highlights
Sure.
as well,
Yeah.
where they're like, oh, I don't want to
Yeah.
dig into this too much because there's gay stuff,
Yep.
you know? And so I was a little hesitant to watch it. And it is disturbing, but here's the thing. I think it should be disturbing. I think
Right.
you should be disturbed to watch a serial killer series.
Right.
I don't think you should watch it and be like, I feel warm and fuzzy.
Yeah, I love this.
Yeah, that's
Happy-go-lucky.
I think it should cause you to pause. And I'm like a true crime fan. And
I did laugh a few times.
I mean,
Jesus.
what? Well, I mean, I could see that.
Uh-huh.
I'm a true crime fan, and I have to tell you that it's taking me a while to watch it because it is tough.
I haven't
to
watched
get
any
through.
of it.
It's
I watched
tough.
the one.
If you
So
make it through the first episode, you're pretty good.
who did this? So someone else, Jared Leto, or somebody gained a bunch of weight and played him in a different one.
I don't remember.
I don't think he's ever been fat. From what I
No.
know.
Well, but I mean, compared to Jared Leto,
Oh.
like let's see.
I can't remember. Oh, no. It was I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, Jared Leto was Jeffrey Dahmer. Let's see. Boom, right there. Oh no, he played.
Yeah, that's Gacy.
Yeah,
no, not Gacy. It's
Oh, you're right. Sorry.
Who is this?
Mark David Chapman. Sorry,
Yeah.
my bad.
Yeah. I
Is he
don't
the
know.
one that's a musician now? Have you seen this?
No.
The guy who shot Reagan is like out now, and he's like a YouTube musician.
Why?
Let's
I
see.
mean,
Let's see. I'm pretty sure that's John Hinckley Jr.
John Hinckley Jr.
Let's see. Yeah, John Hinckley. I'm pretty sure now. Yeah, released in 2016. Live with his mom. Let's see. John Hinckley Jr. I'm pretty sure. He's like a YouTube musician now.
American Criminal.
Let's see. Yeah, John Hinckley sings "Hope for the Future" original song.
What the fuck, man? Stop giving these people money.
Starts record label.
He starts his own
my
record.
God.
You and I are free. Original song.
Jeez
John Hinckley.
Louise.
Yeah.
I just
See, I
okay.
catch these little things and like I don't like follow them into them.
Right.
But they're just there. You
and
know.
that's weird.
Yeah.
Like that's not gonna leave
Man,
my mind.
I have to fucking tell you what happened to me today,
Okay.
and it kind of goes along a little bit with what's going on.
Did you meet
So-
a serial killer?
I don't know.
That's always the answer. I
So,
don't know if I did.
so you know how you both know how I am.
Yeah.
So like, if there's a confrontational thing in public, I'm probably gonna lean into it
Yeah.
and go for it.
Right.
And all right, so I go to Castle Coffee in the this morning before work, and I'm like, normal routine. I walk in and it's busy, and like it always is. I go up to the counter. I'll order like a pastry and then like a coffee. They'll give you the pastry. I'll go wait for the coffee. So as I'm turning around, at one of the tables is a man who has on one of those hoodies that has no sleeves,
Okay.
sleeveless hoodie.
Right.
And he just like looks at me like he's like he looks at me like this.
Ooh. Ooh.
And then as I'm moving, he does this.
Mad dog.
Oh.
No. And then he just keeps going. And then as I go stand on the side, he turns and he just keeps staring at me intently. And like in my mind, I'm like, all right, I'm about to ask this dude, hey man, do you need something? But in my mind, I'm like, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Do not do it. And so then he gets up and he walks like he's leaving, turns back around, goes and sits back down, turns and stares at me intently again.
Oh my God.
And I'm just like, what in the fuck is happening here? And no one is noticing this but me.
Oh God.
Finally, he gets up and he leaves. And I go up to the counter. I'm like, what's with that dude that was there? Is he like shelterless? Is that what's going on? And they're like, yeah. I was like, okay, did you not see like he was staring at me like he wanted to just kill me? And they were like, no. I was like, oh man. But for some reason, I was just like, my mind, I would like, it took everything I had not to just be like, can I help you with something?
Oh my God.
Because like he was just like, I would say he stared at me for 2 minutes straight.
Wow.
Literally 2 minutes straight. And I was like, I just looked at my phone, but I was like looking. And then whenever he got up to go leave, I rotated so I could see out of the corner of my eye in case he like came at me or something.
Oh man.
I don't know what the fuck his problem was with me. It's like, why don't you attack some of these other fucking worthless human beings in here,
Right.
Speaking of that,
Yes.
I got to talk about something that's been
See, I
bothering
would
me.
have just thought the guy thought I was really pretty, and
He did not have a
"Oh."
look like he was infatuated with my looks.
I can't tell the difference.
So, okay. So yesterday I go into Zendo because Castle's not open on Sundays. And have you ever been in Zendo Coffee?
Yeah.
So you know how it has like the seating is all table, like big, long
Yeah.
picnic style tables, right? I count 12 people on their laptops in there, right? And I'm sitting there like, what is the point of all this? Like, I've heard people, they're like, oh, I like to take my laptop and do work at coffee shop. Okay, you can't tell me that you're sitting side by side at a picnic style table with people. Your cord is running under their feet. Your stuff's kind of scattered about and like you're kind of cramped in there. That's a good place to do any kind of real work, right?
Right.
So I'm looking at it, and most of these people aren't like work people. Like they're like, I'm writing a script, I'm writing a book kind of people. And I'm sitting here thinking like, are you really doing that? Are you really writing a script?
Yeah.
Are you really writing a book? Or are you just here to look like that person? And I'm like, I bet at least half of those people are just there to look like I'm an artist.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are we at that phase of life now?
Yes.
Where it's like, I'm not going to be an artist, but I sure want to look like one. I'm not actually going to do the shit. Like, if you're writing a book, do it the right way. It's called Drugs and Alcohol. Do it the right way, right?
Right. Go to a brewery.
Yeah, get fucked up and late at night. Like you write it like 3 a.m. when you're like fucked up on some shit and you're hallucinating and you wake up and you have several pages written and it's brilliant.
Yeah.
I have a laptop on my desk that I've only turned on once.
Yeah. You're probably on
But it looks good on my desk.
See,
it looks really good on my desk.
This is the problem.
What do you got there? Is that a computer? I turned it on one time to make sure it works.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I dated a guy like that who would take his laptop to a brewery.
Why?
And said he was writing a book.
Yeah, they're not.
And he still hasn't finished it from what I understand.
Of course he hasn't, because he can't, because he just wanted to look like one of those fucking people that's like, I am in this coffee. I'm staring intently at my laptop and paying attention to nothing in the world. Because these people are packed, 12 people.
Yeah.
And someone's like, well, I just like to go there so I can just get out of the house. Like, that's worse than being in your house. Yeah. Packed in with people, and you have to like string a cord under someone's feet, and you have to ask them what's going, if they can move out of the way for you.
No.
Or you're sitting out in the hot sun doing it. No, that sounds awful. And I'm like,
that makes sense for like students.
Sure.
Like when I was a student, like, why do you have your laptop with you? I'm like, because I am wickedly behind on homework. Hold on.
I don't think these on a Sunday morning. Nah, I don't. I think these people are like hipsters fuck, and they're like, I want to look like an artist. I don't really actually want to do artist shit.
Right.
I don't want to actually have the torture and the fucking, mental anguish that goes with it, or the stress, but I'll look like it at the coffee shop.
Yeah.
And it's so just gross.
It's weird.
I'm tired of it. And then, like these people that camp out at fucking coffee shops for 4 hours, what is wrong with you? Go do something.
Go do something with your life.
It's just it's ridiculous. It's like, and then I went to the coffee shop one day. Smiley, right? This is a business that someone owns, and like the more people that come in and the more people that pay, the better that they do. I go in, and these women have taken 2 tables, pulled them together. There's 3 women on one side with laptops, 3 women on the other side with laptops, and then they have a laptop at the head of one of the tables with 3 people on a Zoom.
So they're having a meeting.
They're having a conference meeting in the middle of a coffee shop, like pieces of shit. Like, what is fucking wrong with you people?
That's weird. You sent me pictures of that, I think.
So like we all have to, everyone that's in there has to hear about whatever the fuck you're doing.
Do you just like intentionally like crop dust them? Like, I have to walk by.
I should have just farted like hardcore. And then did one of you guys fart? Who farted?
You know what happened to me at Target? Speaking of like businessy people, because I'm sure these were MLM motherfuckers, but
what is it?
Multi-level marketing. So I was in Target with Ian. We're like shopping for towels and whatever.
Ian's into towels, huh?
Oh yeah, totally.
I wouldn't have thought that.
And there was
he does
lady.
Puke probably a lot.
No.
Oh.
Not really. Not anymore.
No, that's good. When does the puke stage end? I mean, never really, I guess.
Around like, I don't know, around 9 or 10 months. I guess when they start eating more solid food. And now he eats mostly just regular meals. But so
he's hunting down birds in the backyard. He's all,
totally.
Get that riffage.
Totally. But so like we're walking and this other mom with a son in the cart like walks by and she's like, hey, how old is your little one? And we start talking like normal moms do. And she seemed really cool. And she was like, hey, can I get your number so we could do like a play date or whatever? And I was like, cool, whatever. Do you know what she sent me?
What?
A multi-level marketing thing. She walks around Target pretending to be a mom friend.
Oh, gross. What the fuck? See, I'm pulling this up because like this dude adds me on Facebook, then immediately like, hey, Chris, thanks for the ad. How are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Look how long that shit is. And I'm like, who the fuck? Whoa. It's bad enough you get phone calls.
Yeah.
It's bad enough you get people to come to the door. It's bad enough now they text message you shit. Now some motherfucker's going to add you on social media and be like, hey, I am a part of, like, I earned a bunch of money doing this. And if you get in it, fuck you, you nasty motherfucker. And then now they're at Target.
Oh, I know. And she was like, the people who got us into this business don't accept people, but I put a good word in for you. How did you put a good word in for me? I could be a serial killer
Yeah.
who has no experience doing anything, and you put a good word in.
You
What
could be
did you say? She looked fun at Target?
She didn't look like Joni Dahmer.
It was so bizarre to me. I mean, I've had 4 years, like people I used to go to school with sending me messages like,
Oh.
"Hey, boss babe," and like you always know what it's
When
gonna
they're doing all
be.
those positive like power terms.
Yes. But oh my god, that made me so enraged. I was just so pissed off.
Oh yeah.
Like, so what do you do? Waste your time just walking around Target?
Get a real job at Wendy's.
Right.
I had a college friend one time that calls me up and he's like, "Yeah, man, I work for this financial firm, and I want you to get you and your friends in on like the ground level of like some sort of." And I was like, "Dude,
Ugh.
my friends are all musicians and shit. We don't have
Gross.
none of us have any fucking money, dude.
No.
Well, you're barking up the wrong tree. None of us have cash, bro.
No.
None of us. We can't even like. I don't even own a house at that time, you know."
Right. I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But at Target of all places.
Yeah.
You know, but it's smart.
Yeah.
They're not at Walmart. Walmart's, you know, like, hey, I have a great business opportunity, and they just get stabbed in the neck with a ballpoint pen.
I think it's pretty smart. And she was like walking around like the baby aisle and the towels and the like. She knew who she was looking for, but
well, they probably were like, well, play to your strong points. You're a mom. Go to places where moms hang out, and you can talk to moms.
Target.
I fucking hate these people, man.
Like, leave my Target alone.
Yeah, Target's a different place.
Yeah.
I've only been there twice.
What?
Really?
Oh
Twice.
man,
One of them was to buy a Roku
Mm-hmm.
because they had a really good sale on it, and the other time was that it was the only place in town that had Skittle gummies.
Oh.
I had to track them down, and
Skittle
Target
gummies, huh?
It was the only place in town that had Skittle gummies.
That sounds great.
I didn't even know they had
amazing.
them.
They're amazing. There's a reason I went to track them down.
Yeah, oh yeah. That does sound good. But then you're in the Skittle aisle, and someone's like, "Hey, you like Skittles?" And you're like, "Mm-hmm." Let me tell you about this multi-level marketing,
Right?
motherfuck.
Well, I was walking through it like it was a Walmart, so I had a very firm, like maybe like my strides were about half as long as they usually are.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to stop me, I might have just like.
Oh, so
barreled through
you'll go to Walmart, but you haven't been to a lot of Targets.
Yes.
You're a Walmart person.
Interesting. Well, he's from Arkansas, so
Fair.
Good old Uncle Wally.
yeah, that's where Walmart started.
Makes sense.
It's really funny because like I knew this girl I went to college with, and like we met back up, like a bunch of us, and everybody's saying what they do, and I felt really bad for her at first because like everybody's like, "What do you do?" She's like, "I work at Walmart," and like everyone took it that she worked at a Walmart. No, she worked for like corporate Walmart.
Yeah.
And I always felt bad. It's like I was like, "Oh, you work at a Walmart? Wow, college, huh?" I mean, I'm not judging, but she's like, no, I work for the corporate Walmart. But then I really was like, well, you're also now an asshole too.
Right.
You work for the corporate Walmart. So
It's like, what you do with your degree is like, I decided to go ahead and work for Lockheed Martin. I'm like, oh, so you're a monster. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, cool.
Right.
I no longer want to associate with you. Thank you.
You could have lied.
We haven't said though, but today's episode is sponsored by the Finnish long drink, the Legend of 1952. If you haven't tried long drink, go to the Bird of Paradise. Go stare at Smiley for 2 minutes straight.
That's right.
And
I'll blush a little bit, and I'll be like, "Did you want my number?"
Yeah. Fuck. I mean, this dude looked like he was like the modern day Assassin's Creed guy.
Oh my god!
Because he had on like the Assassin's Creed type hoodie, where it was like, and it was like that shape and everything, but it had no sleeves.
Ew.
And I was like,
Creepy.
crazy. That's how they go. I did have an interesting experience on Friday night.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and I won't say who the person is, but because I mean I just met them, but so. I'm dating this lady, and I was meeting her friends on Saturday. This is Saturday. I was meeting her friends, and then like everybody wanted to eat, and I was like, oh, let's go to Oni Noodle. And they're like, we do like noodles, and we've never been there. And I was like, oh, well, then we have to go because it's exceptional. So I get there first, and I'm standing on the corner of Central and 6th. She gets there second, and we're waiting on her friends. So there's a lot of like foot traffic because there's like a burlesque show at Launchpad, so a lot of people are going. Which I didn't know burlesque had gotten that big.
Yes,
Again,
absolutely it has.
I did not. I remember back in the day when like you could, people would like beg you to go to the burlesque
Yeah.
show, but like, which that's here nor there. I always enjoyed. I always thought it was cool. So this guy was crossing the street by Sushihana with like these two like really attractive women, and I'm like, I just see them, and immediately I'm like, oh, none of those people look like they belong downtown. Which whatever. Then they cross over, and they're walking past, right? And they've passed me and the lady, and all of a sudden one of the women does like the most robotic turns, like she's like, and she goes, I just want to introduce myself. I'm blah 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 from Instagram, and you're blah, you're Chris from 10 Drink Minimum. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And she's like, are you going to be at the New Mexico Beer Fest? And I was like, yeah, I am going. She's like, awesome, cool. And then she introduced herself to my lady friend, and then they left. So my lady friend's like, is that stuff going to happen a lot? And I was like, yeah, probably. And then she was like, she thought it was weird how it happened, and like I didn't explain it to her, but what really happened is that woman saw me, and she was like debating in her mind whether she was going to say hello. I know this because this has happened many times now. They do this thing where they're like, in their mind, they're like, all right, should I do this? Should I do this? And then they just boom, they do it, and it's super awkward every time.
Oh yeah.
And it's happened so much because like I could see it happening now.
Yeah.
Like I remember standing in line to get food, and like some dude like kind of like looks to the left at me, then looks forward, looks to the left at me, looks forward, and I tell my friend, I'm like, either this guy's probably about to like say hi, and he did. He's like, oh, like they're like building up
you
that
get
like
the feel.
Yeah.
So I had something kind of cool happen to me a couple weeks ago at my open mic.
Mm-hmm.
So a friend of mine had like her friend listens to 10 Drink. Hi Steve. Steven, Steve. And she was like, my friend Steve is coming with me to your open mic, and just to let you know, he's like a really big fan of yours. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. But I always get really awkward because then I'm like, why are you a big fan of mine? Like, it just reminded me of when I met my favorite band on my birthday.
Yeah.
And I told the drummer that they're my favorite band, and he goes, I'm sorry. That's how I feel. Like, I'm sorry that you're my biggest fan. Like, you shouldn't be.
Right.
And that's my own, self-hatred. That's what makes the ha-has happen. But so he was really cute and awkward about it, but I think it got made worse because our friend had made it like really apparent.
Oh yeah.
And so she was like, talk to her. Here she is, blah, blah, blah. So it made me feel awkward, and then it made him feel awkward. And then we're both like awkward, and I had to like run my show. So I said, hey, it's really exciting to meet you. Can I talk to you after the open mic is over?
Right.
And he was like, yeah, absolutely. And he was great, and he was cool. And then he said the sweetest thing. And he was like, I haven't been listening to the show like for that long, but he was like, your last episode, even I was tearing up, and I just wanted you to know that you make my day. Don't do it. Don't you do it. Damn it, Christopher.
You don't even go here.
You don't even go here. But so it was just really sweet. And then he said, it's really kind of weird to talk to you in person, and I hope that's okay, but I think you're really funny and blah, blah, blah. And he was like super, super duper sweet about it. And
I didn't go in like any of the pretend conversations I had with you in my head.
Right? I got really awkward.
Yeah.
I was the awkward one.
Of course you are.
Who was like, okay.
Because it's an awkward situation.
Yeah. I was like, thank you so much. And it makes
okay.
And so now I want to say what in my car on my way home, I was like, this is what I should have said.
Right.
Thanks, Steven. Thank you for listening to me for all this time. And, it's really cool to hear that somebody enjoys things that I put out into the ether.
Right.
But I'm also just a very awkward person.
No.
You're
an artist. and you're first of all, PSA, do not go up and talk to comedians before they go up. It is not a good idea.
We are so weird.
And this goes for other comedians. I remember that night that Roy Wood Jr. was doing the open mic, and comedians were going up to him, and I'm like, this motherfucker's like trying to prepare. He's getting his mind right, like you guys all do.
Yeah.
And you guys are all, but it's not your fault what happened.
Right.
It's their fault.
Right.
Because people don't, and I don't know how to say this without coming off and sound like a fucking asshole, but like people don't understand what it's like to be in the public eye until they're in the public eye.
Mm.
And I was one of them. Like, I'd be like, oh man, I want to go up and say hi to that person. And like, and then you go up and you have, as a fan, you have a little movie that you have in your head.
Right.
You're like, this is what's going to happen. And I'm going to say this. They're going to love it. And we're going to be friends.
Yeah.
And then in them being people, like whoever, they're like focusing on whatever the fuck they're about to do. You go up and say the witty thing that you've created in your brain, which is fine. And then they're like, oh, what? Thank you.
I have food in my mouth.
Yeah.
Be here.
And then you're like, oh, I'm so stupid as you walk away, right? So I had to stop Billy from doing this. So Billy and I were in 505 Central before the sleep show at El Rey, and the guitar players in there at the bar. And Billy is like, oh my God, that's blah, blah, blah from the band. And the guy's like at the bar drinking and eating food. And Billy's like, I'm going to go up and ask him for a picture. And I was like, no, you are not going to do that. You're going to sit down
and let him eat his
food. Then I said, here's what you'll do. Wait till he gets up and walks this way. Then you ask him.
Yeah.
And then Billy did that. And boom, he like pops over and he goes, yeah, let's do it. Click, boom.
Right.
Done.
I mean,
I was like,
and I do want to give this Steven guy credit because he wasn't going to say anything until later.
Yeah.
Right.
Good
like he was actually being really, really
It was
chill.
His friend that thought it was funny.
And I think here's where that started to bother me is that I think she kind of, and I'm not a famous person. Okay. Yeah. I'm not a famous person. I'm not even that cool. But
I know
she, she was like, oh, you listen to 10 Drink Minimum? My friend. Yeah. And we're not that close. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, oh, she's coming to my birthday party and we're going to do this and da 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 da. And it was like, I was now like a cool thing and not a friend. I was like a cool thing. Like, I'm going to take you to this like speakeasy. And guess what? This person you really like that I know is going to be. And so it turned into a thing that was so awkward. And it wasn't Steven's fault. No. It was my friend's fault.
You just became show and tell at the kindergarten?
That's the worst.
Like, as soon as I walked over to say hi to my friend, it was like, oh, hello, this person is here that you love so much. And I was just like, you're making him feel like shit right now and embarrassed. And you're making me embarrassed. Like fucking stop.
They're like turning the organ grinder. They're all dance monkey. Is throw nickels at her.
I was just it, and so anyway, I wanted to just say like I really appreciated that you think I'm that cool,
and that's how I feel. I don't want to come off on like, don't come up and say hi to me.
Yeah, no.
I was actually very happy that the person who came up to me on the street corner and had the courage to like sit and turn, because walking up to a 6'2" man who's like 265 pounds, and saying like, hi, you don't know what's going to happen,
right?
It's and when I say that, it's Central,
right?
And so the next day I found her on Instagram and I went in and I said, hey, it was very nice to meet you. Thank you for saying hello. And then she said, hey, let's connect at the beer fest. I said, absolutely.
Right.
So I went, but, I could just tell that it was like, I could read with the situation, what happened. I knew. I was like, they were building it up in their head and they were like, should I do this? Should I do this? And I thought that was really fun. I think it's funny.
I think it's cute. I actually kind of think it's adorable.
It's kind of cute. Yeah.
But yeah, it was just I feel like he felt like he was the awkward one, and really like I was,
Right.
because I was just like, oh, cool, I
Well-
hate myself, sorry. Like,
But see, people don't they don't think that you're awkward.
right.
They think you've got your shit together, or they think you know what I mean?
Anybody
Like,
who knows me knows I
well,
do not have my shit
And
together.
that's the other thing. People they know this, they know the character, they know whatever, and they've built in their brain
Yeah,
like this model or statue of you of like what they think you are.
right.
And then they meet you and they're like, oh, this person actually like, gets diarrhea and shits their pants sometimes. Weird.
You know what I always
Yeah.
get is people think I'm going to be taller.
Oh, really?
And I get that so often.
Yeah.
That
We do talk you up a lot.
I know, yeah, you guys make me sound way cooler than I am, but
Oh.
oh my god, it's just so funny because every time that's happened, they're like, "I thought you were going to be taller." I'm like,
Interesting.
do I sound tall?
What is that? Yeah, that's a weird one, right?
Like, I don't know.
But I mean, to be fair, anytime I meet a celebrity and someone goes, "Oh, you met such a," I'll be all, "Yeah, they're taller than you think they are." I always say that. Kevin Costner, taller than I thought he would be. Chris Pine, taller than I thought he would be.
When I met Cat Williams, he was shorter than I thought. He was
I believe
be.
he's like 4'7".
He's shorter than me, and
Yeah.
that I was like, that actually kind of makes me feel good because that doesn't happen very often.
That's pretty good.
My favorite comedian in town right now is named Jake Otero, and it's I think mostly because he's shorter than I am.
Oh man, I gotta tell you, like, I don't really talk about relationships that often.
Yeah.
So I'm 6'2".
Yeah.
I'm dating this woman that's 6 foot tall.
Nice.
And I thoroughly enjoy, like, we're like somewhere eating or whatever. Like, I get up and people will stare at me.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big human being. But it's really funny when I stand up and she stands up and they're like, whoa. Like, what are their kids going to be like? Mega kids.
And then you have Hamster and I, who are both short.
Right.
Like, whoa, what are your
You
kids
can get on
gonna
our
be like?
shoulders and we'll say, who run by to town? Master Blaster.
Or Oompa Loompa.
There you go.
Anyway.
I'm going to tease this for the second hour. We interviewed a woman by the name of Ashley Bigger. You were on the show.
Oh.
She wrote a book. What was it called? I'll pull it up real quick. Oh man,
She was really nice.
she was really nice, and they sent me her third edition of her other book. Let's see, and I've read through most of it, and Ashley and Biggers. There we go. So she wrote. Maybe that is that. Yes, this is her. Where are her? Did they not have anything about her book? There we go. Books. Plural. I'm trying to remember what the one we talked to her about. It was
100 Things to Do Before You Die or something.
that's the one I'm going to review. So
okay.
Secret Albuquerque is the one she came on for. I'm going to give a review of. They sent me the third edition of the 100 Things to Do in Albuquerque Before You Die. I'm going to get it out of the house and bring it out here, and we'll talk about stuff in it.
Nice.
And I'll give a review. They sent me an advanced copy, and so I was like, yes. Cool. And Hollyanne, you have what's going on?
Oh, I have a lot to promote. So tonight, first and foremost, I will be at Founders, obviously, doing my open mic. The show starts around 8:45, 9 o'clock ish, just because who knows when the other degenerates are going to show up. And then this Saturday, this Friday, September 30th, I will be at Dry Heat doing a fun show. Saturday, October 1st, I will be emceeing October Fiesta at Santa Fe Brewing headquarters.
Thank you for doing that, by the way.
Thank you, Christopher.
Nice.
And then October 16th, I will be doing a long set at the Mom Expo, which I'm going to talk about that in the second hour because that was kind of cool. And most exciting is October 30th at Dry Heat. I am bringing back Night of the Living cover comics.
Nice.
And we have a pretty cool lineup.
I thought that was really great, actually.
Yeah, and this year it's going to be at the Comedy Club, so the sound is going to be perfect. And
that was the issue.
That was the issue. And so now we get to do it in like a really cool format, and I think we have a really dope lineup of people. So definitely, as soon as the link drops to buy tickets, I'll send it to Chris, and Chris can post it for you guys.
I'll just stare at it.
And thank you
for
guys
2
for letting me
minutes.
come on.
Absolutely.
I'm so excited.
Thanks for filling in for Billy,
Of
who
course,
is
anytime.
practicing for Night of the Living Cover Bands.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's going to be George Strait.
What?
Chip Begay as George Strait on the first night. And then his other 2 bands, I don't remember what night they're playing on. They're playing on the same night. One is doing Radiohead.
Nice.
And the other's doing They Might Be Giants.
That's awesome.
Now, and I say this to him every fucking time, you're going to be like, Radiohead, they're not playing any of the songs you'll want to see. Maybe. I mean, he's doing nothing before Kid A. Now, They Might Be Giants. They're going to do none of the songs you want to hear. They're doing the Malcolm in the Middle song, and that's the only one I know.
Oh my god.
Everyone does the same thing. They go, They Might Be Giants. Particle Man? No.
Mm-mm.
Oh, Constantinople? No.
No.
Then why even do it?
You know,
I don't know.
to be weird.
Fuck, I guess.
What George Strait songs is he?
Oh, I know the set list.
I think that they just want to expand people's minds. You know, it's like you can't just judge Marcy's Playground off of one song.
Sure you can.
I'm gonna punch you right
Absolutely,
in the
you
mush,
can.
dude. You're making me mad now.
No, I'm saying they want you to read.
You went.
Do the rest of the album.
You're throwing it in my face right now because you know I love that album and I hate that song. You're doing that on purpose.
Just
You're being
give
a
me-
fucking head.
Just
That's
give you a good example. That's all.
all. I had to punch you. I went to I saw They Might Be Giants in concert, and I was like, play Particle Man so I could go home. No, but yeah. Smiley, you have anything going on?
I
You
do. I
You
do
do.
actually. I'm currently in this contest. If you would, it's called the Face of Horror, and
Oh,
I there's a nice prize going on. There's a charity involved, and I would really like for everyone to vote for me. I've made it into the
Yeah.
it's like second round.
You're in the second
here.
round. He's also
Wow.
fourth place right now
cool.
If you can go
because of the fans.
if you could like please
Thank
vote
you.
for me, it's faceofhorror.org/2002/James-Smiley.
Oh.
Every time you do that, you fuck up your name when you're telling people.
I'm not used to saying my name.
Dames
Dames.
Diley.
I'm not used to saying my own name. It's
I
not
guess.
something that pops out of my mouth very often.
I guess.
What's your name? My name is.
Blah. So yeah, but you're up. So at one point you were like in 12th place. Now you're in 4th place.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So the fans have come through for you. Thank them, Smiley. Tell 'em.
Yeah, thank you so much. Keep going. I'm.
I vote for him every day.
I love it.
Billy has not even thought about it. Oh, fun. Poor Smiley.
Oh, yeah, but I vote for me every day too.
I'm sure you do.
You should.
You have
As
anything
you
else?
should.
No, yeah, coming down
Yeah.
to the Bird of Paradise where you can get our delicious long drink. There are a couple other places, but you get the bonus of getting to see me there.
Mm.
I actually had someone go. I had not had the long drink before, and I went and got it because you guys talk about it. I'd never even heard of it, and they're like, "I went and got it, and I like it." And I was like, "Oh, cool,
It's delicious.
refreshing."
It is. I love
honestly.
it.
Yeah. I will be October 11th through the 15th. I will be in the Washington D.C. area.
Ooh.
If you would like to meet up and hang out with me, I not free during the day, but I'll be free at nights. So yeah, hit me up if you live in that area, Virginia, Maryland, DC. I will be in the Washington DC area. Other than that,
Are you asking for a booty call on air?
I am not. No, I am definitely not asking for that.
Not available during the days, only at nights.
That's true. No, I'm saying
You gotta be careful how you word it.
I'm going to
Chris.
be there for work, so I'm not going to be able to hang out during the day. So after 5 o'clock, I can hang out. No booty calls. Sorry, I will not be partaking in that. What else? I did buy the $50 8-night ticket to Night of the Living Cover Bands. I'm going to miss one night, but I am going to be at almost every other one. I'm going to try to hit 7 of the 8 nights.
Nice.
Night of the Living Cover Bands. So,
I'm gonna have to choose like one.
oh, fuck. I have a thing in November. What am I? Blah. Fuck. I'm emceeing a charity event. There we go. and it is at the launch pad in November. It is the Black Light Party, 11/26 at the launch pad. Sun Sounds, Deaf Eye, Slums of Harvard, and the Red Light Cameras, benefiting, how do you say that? Cuidando los Niños? Cuidando los Niños, 4th annual Burke Niños Music Fest, face and body paint. So I will probably be shirtless and painted.
Nice.
I don't know about that, but yeah, I'll have a white tee on.
Definitely painted.
Yeah. So yeah, come out for that. Other than that, stick around. We'll be back here in about 10 minutes for the Holly/Wavy Hour.
Woohoo.
That's what we call it now, you know?
I know.
Yeah.
That also made me very awkward the first time you guys told me that. I was like, oh, I'm going to cry at my own open mic right now. Because I was still, I don't know, I still get sad when I think about you guys.
Well, I mean, you shouldn't have got fired. No, I'm just kidding.
Some, I'm going to tease this for the second hour, but I have to tell you some of the stuff that people have asked me, and it's hilarious.
Oh, about this show?
Yes.
It's weird how people like come up with these weird fucking things.
They automatically assume like something has happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't eat people.
No,
just talk about it.
Chris doesn't even talk about eating people.
Oh, no, we have. So now that Billy's back, Billy is on my side of the not eating people conversation.
I have no back. It's terrible. I'll still bring it up. I'll be like, well, you guys brought it up. They're like, no, you found a way to weasel it in the conversation.
That's right. We're going to take a break. We definitely drink and do the show. You should as well. And with that, we are 10 drink minimum.
Colorless light, baby, I know what time does. The sun is a sun of light. Love is my sun. You took the earth from my mind until the end of time. You took the earth from my mind until the end of time. It's not about you. It's all about you. Right? Take your time and look away. Realize the things you say. Colorless light, baby, I know what time does. until the end of the snow you'll fly, left your tight tracks, build your fire. I won't be too blunt, take the world from fate illusion now. Enter the night, bring your head attached, you can't survive. I won't be too blunt, take the world from fate's illusion now. Oh, I see to her as you love me too. Say how did you see the end? As I was looking touch I sold my soul to the bottle. Still none of my friends have left me yet. I'm the same man I was since the age of 13, and I've lived my life with no regrets. If you're looking for some freedom, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum. If you're looking for rhyme or reason, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum.
Oh wow, we've made it to the Billy / Holly / Wavy hour. See, you're here, so I want to say Billy now. It's all fucked up.
It's all messed up. We just keep leaving and coming back and leaving and coming back.
It's been
No. Stop it. I still can't hear that song.
Smiley's back in the saddle.
I am here.
Yeah, back. So I teased it for the first hour from the first hour. They sent me. We had Ashley M. Biggers on the show, and we talked about a book that she put out, Secret Albuquerque. Well, they sent me an advanced copy of the 3rd edition of her book, 100 Things to Do in Albuquerque Before You Die. And I'm pretty, when it comes to Albuquerque stuff, I'm like, okay, let's see what you got, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say pretty on point. Pretty on point, right? For example, if you go in this book, I mean, there's some things I'm kind of like, I didn't like, but that, for people who need to understand, if you're going to write a book about Albuquerque, especially Secret Albuquerque, I'm going to scrutinize it pretty hardcore, Like, for example, they're like, take a trip to Madrid. And I went, I'm gonna say no on that. Very pretty scenery.
Yeah.
Very pretty scenery.
I wouldn't say
Nah.
that that's necessarily secret Albuquerque, though.
Right. Sip a margarita at 66 acres. Okay.
Okay.
I'm into that. Breakfast at Barella's Coffee House. That's
Heck yes.
For
that's
sure.
that's for sure, right? Tear off a piece of a Frontier sweet roll. I don't think that's a secret, but that's a good choice. I'm not gonna go through all of them, but like brunch at the Grove. Okay. These are all things I do.
Yeah.
Eat at Powdrell's. Let's see.
I do love
Let's
powdrels.
see. But see, like some of them aren't secret though. Go to an event at the chemo. I mean, that's not a secret. Find a spot in the grass on a zoo for one of the zoo nights. That's a great one. What I'm going to say to this book is not for me. This book is not for Smiley. This book is not for Hollyanne.
No.
This book is for the person who lives in Albuquerque and has either just moved here or lives in Albuquerque and says, I don't like it here. It's boring.
Oh yeah.
And this is a book that will show you that it is not boring. There's a lot of things to do here. Take a ghost tour of Old Town. Let's see here. Make your way to Madrid. I just don't like that one. I will agree with this one. Go to Tinkertown. Tinkertown is dope as shit.
Yeah, no shit.
Love Tinkertown.
I fucking love Tinkertown. Get hands on and explore. See, these are all great. You shouldn't even be, I guess it's not. This isn't the secret one. This is 100 things to do in Albuquerque before you die. And I'd say that this is a great book, especially if you think it's a boring town.
Yeah.
If you go through and do every single thing in this book, not only will you not think Albuquerque is boring, but you will be on so many Facebook lists that you will get invites to everything, and no longer will you think life is boring. I actually give this book a thumbs up.
Nice.
I don't know what our review meter is here, but
I think thumbs up works.
yeah, we don't give it the finger. That's what we don't do. I'm a fan.
Anytime we're not burning
Yeah.
down someone that's trying to sponsor us is
Right.
a good sign.
Yeah.
We're like, that's.
I mean,
this
I
is pretty
don't
good.
like that they say sample the smorgasbord at Sawmill Market, but that's my personal thing. Those are my issues. Not, some people might like it. So I don't know where you can buy this. I know you can get these on Amazon. I'm sure they're going to have them at bookstores around Albuquerque. But 100 Things to Do in Albuquerque Before You Die. It's the 3rd edition. Ashley Bigger, she was on the show, great. And then she also did the book Secret Albuquerque, A Guide to the Weird and Wonderful Obscure. So go check it out.
I love that.
I'm a fan.
Do you want to hear something weird and obscure? Speaking of murderers and stuff, so the comedians have like a comedian group where we post like open mics and things like that, and it's only comedians in there.
Yeah,
And
as it should be.
somebody put, y'all remember Joaquin Roybal? Looks like he had a literal skeleton in his closet. And I didn't remember who this was. He used to do comedy, and I just could not remember. And then Tito, who used to run the Bozy open mic,
Oh yeah, I remember Tito.
said that he used to put his name down as Nico the comic, and I went,
Oh,
"Oh
yeah.
my god!" So he and his mom murdered somebody in 2017.
What?
Yeah,
Holy
I mean,
fuck.
allegedly. He hasn't gone to court about it yet. I don't think.
Really?
But yep.
Wow.
So
Just like all my alleged DUIs.
Shut the fuck up. Damn it.
But this guy was one of those guys, like he was such an asshole. Like he was not funny.
I'm trying to
He was
picture
not
what he looked like. I
nice.
remember Nico the comic.
Oh, he was. Let's
I wonder
see.
how many times that's happened to us each individually in our lives, right? You're like, oh man, I remember that one person. I wonder what happened to them. Oh, in prison for murder.
Yeah.
I know for a fact there's a guy I went to college with, and I looked him up, and he's in prison for not murder, but severe child abuse. Like he twice said that his kid, he like fell on the kid.
Oh my
you know,
god. How
and-
would you
yeah,
I don't know.
I
I'm
don't know.
gonna say this. Ian has shown me just how like hard somebody would have to actually like shake a child or fall on
Yeah.
a child. Because here's the thing, Ian falls all the time because he's a climber. He likes to
Oh.
climb on the back of our couch and stand like Jack in Titanic. And he does it so quickly that I'll be like getting a glass of water. I turn around and there he is just on the back of our couch like this. And there's nothing behind our couch. Like he
Oh,
would
wow.
just fall right off the back of the couch. And I have to save his life like every day. And then a couple weeks ago, we had to take him to the emergency room, which I guess we didn't really need to.
Mhm.
But he has started getting hay for our rabbit, and he'll put hay in her cage.
Mhm.
And I guess one day, so it sucked because Hamster had a day off, like an extra day off, and he was being sweet. He was like, I'm going to let you sleep in, and I'm going to take the baby, and you just sleep in because I'm not a morning person. And he comes in maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes later, and he's like, hey, Code Red, you need to put like pants on, and we got to go to the emergency room.
Oh, wow.
And I come out, and Ian is just bleeding everywhere.
Yeah.
And what had happened was the rabbit thought he had hay
And bit him.
and bit him, and she didn't mean to. Like, she's not vicious.
No.
And but man, it was on both
This
sides.
isn't Watership Down. No.
Yeah, no. But it was on both sides of his little tiny finger, and it would not stop bleeding. And we were like, oh my God, like, what do we do? So we get to the emergency room, and he was such a badass. Like, the nurse cleaned it. He didn't cry. He was like waving at her, being so cute. He did cry like when it happened, obviously. And then he was just like a little trooper the whole time because I had to like clean it and stuff. And then we thought like, oh my God, like rabbits, like
They have razor blades for teeth.
Yeah, oh, man.
like
yeah.
I had no idea.
Oh
and
wow, they do.
That's how they eat grass.
Oh,
That's
my
what
You
they
ever,
pay.
you ever see them
God.
just shear right through an electrical cord?
no,
Oh,
but
man. I
I
believe
now
it.
know.
I've had them as pets. Like
Yeah.
you're like, and the TV's not on. That's
Yeah.
it's because the TV's not connected to anything anymore. How
And
did you
see,
not die doing this?
I should have thought about it. I should have like not been so surprised because she has chewed through like quite a few things in my home because she's an asshole.
Really?
Um,
Sounds like a goat.
I know she's also really big. Like she's a big rabbit. And so we were like, oh my God, like the emergency room is gonna like make us put our rabbit down and like blah blah blah. And this guy was like, this happens all the time.
Oh, I bet.
And we were
Yeah.
like, what? And he's like, oh yeah, like rabbits are just one of those animals that you don't expect them
Mm-mm.
to bite. Whereas
Mhm.
like with a dog, you might be like a little bit more cautious that's totally how we were. We didn't even think twice about him feeding the rabbit hay because you see a rabbit and you're like, oh, what a sweet
cuddly.
thing.
It's a killer.
Oh my God, that
They're-
was the
they're-
scariest mom
Have you never
moment.
watched Monty Python?
I mean, I have, but
Their teeth structure is like scissors.
oh,
It
it's
just- it
so
just-
crazy. It was so crazy though. I've had so many moments with Ian before that and since then where I'm like, and he's gonna have a concussion. He like fell over the bathtub
Mhm.
because I don't know what he was doing. No idea.
Being a kid.
I was like, oh, you have brain damage now. He's fine.
I went to the hospital when I was a kid so many times
Ugh.
that they made my parents leave the room
Oh no.
and asked me, like, did your parents do this to you? And I was like, no. Like I had stitches on above my right eye.
Oh God.
I've had stitches on the top of my head. I had stitches on the back of my head.
Well, and here's the deal. I think good parents.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't want to.
Like bad parents who did that wouldn't have taken me to the
Right.
hospital.
Well, and I think with both of our kids, we're very like, go play. Like, go be a
Mhm.
kid, go do your thing. We're not like, oh, don't do that because then they don't learn what danger is.
Hey, Charlie, don't pile drive your brother right now. We got company on the way.
I kind of just let Ian. And then here's a parenting tip that I'm going to give to people. And I got it from my dad. And it was the most surprising tip I got. But I think it is working. And I think everybody should adopt it. So I asked my dad like about baby proofing stuff.
Mhm.
And he was like, well, we didn't do that with you. And I was like, yeah, that's because we were poor. He goes, no. And then he goes, well, yes, but also he's like, let me tell you something. So my cousin Ian, who my son is named after, we were a month apart and his mom like baby proofed everything.
Right.
And then they would go to somebody else's house. And if their house wasn't baby proofed, he didn't really understand what it meant when you say no, don't touch that. That's
Right.
not yours.
Right.
Whereas I knew that if you said no, it meant no. And it meant don't touch that. And we are very like, we want to be able to take Ian places and not have our kid be a complete monster.
Hmm.
So I'm trying it. And so far, you know what? It's working.
I have to tell you a story about my childhood
Oh, no.
of how my mom taught me kind of what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
So my mom wanted to show me that the stove was hot
Mm.
and that it would burn me. So she's like, you know how when I smoke a cigarette normally and I light it, I have to puff really hard to get the cigarette lit. And I was like, okay. And she goes, watch this. And she just stuck it to the burner and it lit the
Yeah.
cigarette. And she goes, that's how hot it is. So, that's
It
how I
works.
learned. That's how I learned how how hot the stove was. It can light a cigarette without puffing. So
Yeah.
that hot.
And that stuck with you though, right?
Sure.
My dad, one thing that I'm
True
not going to
story.
do is my dad would iron his
Mhm.
shirts or use the iron to make a grilled cheese, one or
Okay.
the other.
Fair enough.
And on one of those occasions, he had the iron out and he kept trying to be like, stop, that's hot. Don't touch that. It's hot. And then he finally was just like, you know what? Fuck it. Touch it.
Yeah.
And I did.
Ow.
And
hot.
I haven't touched an iron since. I still
No, of course not.
no, I iron things a lot now.
How do you tell if your iron's hot enough?
I touch it?
I gleek on mine. I gleek on mine.
Really?
Yeah.
Gross.
I'm all.
uh,
People are like going to Google. They're like, "What's gleeking?"
I've had to keep
No. So creepy. Don't do that.
Did you not know I could do that? I can hit it sometimes. It'll spray across the room.
that is so
Yeah.
gross. So Danny's
Yes,
trying-
I'm grossing Smiley out. Yes, by gleeking.
Oh man, I think I'm gonna have to just like
Mhm.
not get grossed out by things because I can totally tell that Ian
Yeah.
is stereotypical boy. Like
Oh,
he's
yeah.
already into trucks. His favorite day of the week is Thursday because that's trash day, and I take him
Oh fuck
outside
yeah,
to watch the trash
Oh.
truck.
dude! Do you remember? Like I don't know anyone ever owned it, but like there was a video for sale, and it was like big trucks, like heavy equipment, and that's all it was. It was for kids.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you remember that?
Ian would be
Let's see.
I
totally
totally
into
remember
that.
that.
Yeah.
So he loves the Cars movies and all that. And so one Thursday I was like, fuck it. Like he loves trucks. I'm just going to take him outside when the garbage man comes
Yeah,
and
there's-
let's see what happens.
There's one that comes around every week.
Oh yeah.
And so I take him out there to the driveway and he was so excited. He was like clapping and saying, yeah, truck. But when he says truck, it sounds like drunk.
Oh.
So he also has a little forklift toy that Jason got him because he likes the forklift at the brewery a lot. And he calls it Dada Truck, but it always sounds like he's saying Dada Drunk. And I love it because probably. And so anyway, the first time I took him out there, he was so excited. Like he was shaking with excitement, just like there's a truck. And I didn't know how the garbage
Oh.
man was going to like respond, right? And he was so cute because he saw Ian standing there, so excited, and he waved at him, and Ian was like, and he waved back,
Mhm.
and then the guy honked the horn
Yeah.
and revved the engine, and I thought Ian was going to die of excitement. And so now every week the guy's like, hey, Ian.
Oh man.
Yeah, and it's really, 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 really sweet
Let me see if I can-
because that garbage man doesn't have to do that.
No, fuck no.
But he remembers that at our house there's a little boy, and actually last week I was running late to get him out there because like I was changing his diaper or whatever, and the guy honked and waited a couple of seconds for us to come out. And I thought that was
That's pretty
so
amazing.
sweet because he does not have to like cater to my child. But that's the real celebrity in our house is the garbage man.
Oh yeah.
He loves him.
I mean, that's like why this I'm pulling up the commercial. Here we go.
Hey kids, put on your hard hats and get ready
Oh, I
for
do remember
real-life
this.
Giant construction equipment for kids. The exciting new video that's fun-filled with 25
And it's just big
monster
trucks.
machines.
That's all it is. It's
Join
just
Hard
big
Hat Harry
trucks.
on a magical adventure.
Yep.
to
Wow.
construction sites. 30 thrill-packed minutes.
I bet
of
these people make good money.
roller
They probably do.
Just filming like people working.
and more. 25 big machines.
I should see if they have like a YouTube version of this.
Oh, there
to
is.
just
There
show-
was. There's
Oh,
tons
cool,
of
cool,
them.
cool, cool. Now I know what I'm gonna play. Because he also loves Miss Rachel, and I have to tell you, I cannot hear Wheels on the Bus one more time. I'm gonna
Fucking-
lose it.
I think I might want to watch that. That doesn't,
Right.
that doesn't look that bad.
The big trucks.
Yeah, I'm like, oh wow.
27 real heavy pieces of equipment. And
I
it's-
just didn't know that it started so early. And like the thing is
it's just this like okay, and it never
Yeah.
stops. Never stops.
yeah.
Like I don't know about Smiley, but like if I like go somewhere and there's like some like big piece of heavy machinery that I've never seen before, I'm like, I'll be like, oh, what's going on with that thing?
Right.
What's oh, okay. I wonder if are they going to fire that up? What's going to happen? Never stops.
I just thought,
Yeah.
I guess I thought like, oh, I'm not gonna force
Mhm.
anything on him, right?
Yeah.
And like he'll play Barbies with his sister. I mean,
Sure.
kind of. He just mostly steals her Barbie and carries it around.
Yeah.
But we did not force it on him. Like
Mhm.
we played Cars for him one time, and he loves that. And then every time we go to get toys or whatever, he always picks a truck. That wasn't from us.
Oh,
It just
cool.
he just loves it. And I guess I just didn't know it started so
Mhm.
early.
He just
Like
he just picks out Dickies and puts the Dickies overalls on with no shirt or underwear on underneath, just naturally,
oh god.
just naturally.
And gentlemen, he plays with his junk so
Oh man,
much. And I'm just like, why, son? Why do you do that?
I just picture him like in his little overalls, no shirt, and he has a decal hat, decal cap.
We think he's just gonna end up wearing like brewery stuff because that's his favorite place to be is in the brewery
Yeah.
because Ex Novo's brewery is huge.
There's a decal hat if you wanted to know.
Oh,
what I'm
yeah.
talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah,
Oh,
there
yeah.
we go.
Oh wow.
he's like, man, you guys gonna have a good crop this year? You think? You know,
He did wear overalls for the first time.
Russ
Front
Briggs-
loaders,
front end loaders are awesome. Man.
front end loaders are pretty awesome.
You know what? Okay, as a man, you know what men look at and they go, "Oh yeah," is a bobcat.
Yes,
As
always.
soon as you see a bobcat, not Smiley, but most men, they'll look at a bobcat and they're like, I'd like to. I might have some stuff around that. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh
Smiley?
yeah,
No, I don't know what you're
I
talking
know
about.
what you're talking about, and I also
Yeah.
feel that. I'm like, you know what you could do with a bobcat? Pretty much anything
Yeah.
you need.
I probably
to do.
know what it is. I
You
just
do.
didn't know it's
Yeah,
called a
that's what they're
bobcat.
called. It's the none of that. There it is. Kind of. Yeah.
Oh.
That's it. You get in through the
Yeah.
front window, and like it has doesn't have a steering wheel.
Oh, like a tank control.
It
Yeah.
has like
And it
little,
could just whip around like.
Oh, that
You
does
know
look
what's
like fun.
funny?
See, immediately you're like, well, I could
It's
probably
funny
do some
you
work.
say that because we were at
Yeah.
Target one day and I was showing him all the trucks, you
Uh-huh.
know, and I'm like, okay, pick one. He picked a bobcat, but he picked the
Mhm.
one that has like you could see the battery and
Oh,
you could
yeah.
see like all the things. And
Hmm?
he was less than a year old at that time,
You
and
like
he was
to
like,
see the guts of stuff,
Yeah.
man. I need to know how it works.
he loves that.
I
thing.
want to. I may have. If I don't know how it works, I'll probably take it apart
Yeah.
to see how. It
Oh,
works.
Ian already does that too.
Yeah.
And I had to talk to Jason. I'm like, is this normal?
Mhm. Yeah.
Like he's just like taking this apart.
The only reason I know how VCRs work is because I took so many of
Yeah.
them apart and put them back together
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a boy thing.
with varying results.
Hamster
But
was like, we
I mean,
gotta
it could be a
keep an
girl
eye
thing.
on him.
I don't know. It could be a girl thing.
Danny does not do that.
No.
I didn't really do that either.
There you go.
But yeah, Hamster was like, yeah, we're gonna have to watch him because I can already tell he's just gonna take a screwdriver to anything and take it apart.
Mhm.
to
'Cause-
this day, I will just find like I'll be walking down the street and there's like a broken like fan on the street, and I'm like, I bet you I can fix that. And I'll just pick
Same.
it up and take
See?
it home,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And you're like, well, it's probably just got a loose piece in here.
take it apart, and I'm like, oh, so
And you know
this
why?
needed some
'Cause, like,
oil and some care.
Because and I don't know this for a fact, but I guarantee Smiley has done that before and it worked.
Yeah, no,
Mm,
all the fans in my
mhm.
house are just
Or
things
not
I
even
found.
just a fan, but like anything. Like you're like, Oh, that's probably just you just get in there and look at it real quick. And, oh, now it works. Hey, I fixed that thing you gave me for free because you love to do that to people, right? Hey, that thing is broken. You gave it for me. I fixed it. It works great now, man.
I think also like men are just fixers. Like that's just how your guys' brain,
Yeah.
because even like I'll want to vent to Hamster about something and I just need him to listen. That's all I need.
Yeah.
I don't need him to fix it.
Nope.
I don't need him. And he cannot. Like, he's just like, well, but if you did this, and I'm like, why are you mansplaining me right now? And
Well,
he's like, I'm not mansplaining.
And I get that too. Like the worst thing on the planet is you're venting to someone and they're like, let me play devil's advocate. I don't want you to do that at all.
No.
I want you to shut the fuck up and nod your head.
Yeah.
Or
be like, oh, that really sucks. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Would you like some advice?
Yeah.
And
then you're like, no, I just want to be mad.
Out of all the times, that is the time you should have been pointing at me.
Yeah.
Because I'm the worst at that. People are like, oh, okay. Let me tell you that could be worse. Or from the other person's point of view, it's like,
No.
fuck the right off.
Fuck them.
Like,
Right.
well, I'm sorry.
Well, like,
Especially if you're angry at the time.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear the other person's side.
No.
You don't want to hear nothing.
I just want to be angry.
Maybe
I
you
just
should
wanna
have
be mad
vented
right
at
now.
your cat.
Oh, you shouldn't be
instead.
mad about that. Oh, you don't tell me. I should not be mad about that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to be more mad now.
Mm.
Now I'm mad at you.
Oof.
Yeah, that's like the number one thing that we like get in arguments about is like, I don't need you to play devil's advocate. I don't need you to fix it. I don't need none of that. Don't need it.
Yeah.
I need you to just shut the fuck up.
And just go, oh, that sucks. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm okay if people are mad at me, though. It doesn't affect me at all.
No.
Yeah, that's true.
It's all be mad at me. At least you're not mad at someone that cares.
Right.
Oh man. Okay, so I teach
Smiley
this.
does not either. Don't get mad at him. He doesn't give a
He
fuck
does
about
not
it.
care
Nope.
if you're mad.
Nope.
I mean, punch me in the face if that will make you feel better.
He loves real
Do
hard,
you
but he
feel
doesn't
better
give a
now?
shit if you're mad at him.
I don't know.
I
If he
can
loves real hard. I don't really know
I
about
don't
that
know.
either.
I don't know.
He
it's
doesn't
okay.
feel the feels.
I want to contradict you.
I know,
That's just your nature. It's okay.
but don't do it.
Don't do it.
I'm just gonna nod my head,
Danny has
vent
started
away.
telling Hamster like I'll be upset about something, and just yesterday in the car, he just would not stop. And Danny was like, Dad, she just needs a minute. Just leave her alone. And I look back and I go, since when do you know how to leave somebody alone?
like, thank you for one,
yeah.
but for two, when did this fucking happen?
I know. Like, can you start taking your own goddamn advice?
Yeah.
I literally had to tell her the other day, and I felt so bad about it, but I literally had to tell her the other day, like, if you would just learn to shut up sometimes, you wouldn't get in so much trouble.
Right.
If just when you get in trouble, you just shut up.
Yeah. Just buckle it down. But then there's those people that just can't.
She can.
Oh man, I saw. I had to come home as soon as I come home. I was like, Billy, you should see what I just seen today. And this is why I love living downtown. So, living downtown, there's always like a shelterless human being.
Yeah.
That's just screaming randomly, and it just is what it is. Oh, I have two stories about this. So I'm going into the Silver Market. I'm walking across the street to the Silver Market, and this guy is catty corner from the Silver Market on the other side, like slouching against the wall, and he's like screaming out things. And as a downtown person, you just ignore it.
Yeah.
You just ignore it. This dude rides up on a scooter, and he stops and he gets off, and he's like, hears it for like a couple seconds, and he goes, "Hey, shut the fuck up!" And I'm like, I just start laughing, and I'm trying not to laugh and look at him. And he turns to me and he's like, "That guy's fucking annoying me already." Then he turns, he's like, "I'll come over there and beat your ass."
Oh my God.
And I just start laughing, and I go in the store and I look and I go, well, it's really not a day in Albuquerque if someone's not just randomly screaming in the street. And he goes, "That's true." But he's like, "Hey, shut the fuck up." Well, then the other one, it was Friday night when we were going to go to watch The Room. And Billy went with us because we were all going to eat at Two Fools. And then he was going to go to watch some band, and then we were going to go watch the movie. So we park in Nob Hill, and you know how you have those crosswalks that cross over into the art walk?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, art bus
Yeah.
stop.
Oh, yeah.
And then you have to like, you cross it, and then you have to walk, parallel on the art bus stop, and then go to the other crosswalk and go the other way, right? So an art bus pulls up. This dude is like flipping the fuck out. He's getting off, and he's like, fuck you and fuck this. And he starts kicking the bus,
Oh
and he's
my
like, fuck
God.
it, fuck all y'all, and just flipping out. And we have to cross the street to the art bus stop where he's like the elevated like thing that he's on.
Yeah.
Right. So it's me and Billy and my lady. So I switch sides so that I'm on the side that he's on. So she's on the outside of me.
Good for you, Chris.
And we walk. None of us look at him because we're all veterans of Albuquerque, and we make no comments, no nothing. And then we get to the other crosswalk, and just then another art bus pulls up. The doors open, and that dude's getting on, and I'm all, man, those people have no idea what they're in for today. And everybody was like, right?
Oh my goodness.
He's like, they're like fresh game for this guy. He's like, rah, rah.
Okay, here's the thing. I used to see those people
Oh,
all the
man,
time.
yeah.
And even if you're,
Mhm.
unsheltered,
Yeah.
but also just normal. Here's the
Right,
thing.
yeah.
I sometimes get so mad and I can't help it.
Nah.
There's nothing I can do. And I mean, I've never like kicked a bus
No.
or like whatever, but like I could see how that could
I
happen.
just love that. Those people have no idea what they're about
Yeah.
to experience, do they?
I haven't gotten that mad since I was a teenager. The idea of how useless of an idea of kicking a car.
Yeah.
Ha!
Fuck you.
What did that do? I hurt my foot real bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
Crazy.
man.
It's fun. But I mean, it's the, and I'm sure most major cities have it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure.
They have to.
But like, it's just interesting. Like, shut the fuck up. I was like, whoa, that's all you got to do, huh? And then he's like, I'll come over there and beat your ass. And I'm just like, does this guy just a walking time bomb? Like, I don't know whose side I'm on here.
The answer is
Yes.
yes.
But he's
Yeah.
riding a scooter.
He probably had like a really bad day. You know
Well,
what I mean?
He's on a scooter for what? But,
The person on the street is the saner one in that one. I'm like,
Shut the fuck
are you
up.
just yelling at a person that's yelling at themselves?
Right.
Right.
Yeah, because the guy's not,
Doesn't do anything.
he's not, he's just having a moment or whatever. He's having flashbacks of something, or,
Yeah.
He's coming down or whatever. Shut the fuck up. And I'm just like, I'm like, wow, I haven't seen some shit like that in a long time. That's pretty
Oh
awesome.
man, almost every Monday night I see
Yeah.
something like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Like right in front of where Founder, and
Mhm.
it was so funny because a friend of my mom's like went to Founders because
Right.
like she said it was a cool place or whatever, and I guess like she had not been downtown since like the 80s or something, and she was like, there was a guy talking to himself and I thought he was talking to me, and I responded and he got really mad. And I was like, yeah, don't do that. Just, I have gotten really good at knowing who I can talk to and who you just ignore. Because there are some, if you don't say hi back, they get really mad.
Oh yeah.
Because then you're being rude.
Right.
I get it. But it's, it's a delicate art.
Well, so this happened last night. So Billy and I, we head over to Palmer, the Palmer Left Turn Tap Room in Old Town, right? Our friend Justin Nunez was playing, and we go out on the patio, and we get there early enough we can get a table. So it's Billy and I sitting at a table for 4 people. And there's been times I've done this, and I'm totally fine with it. But just last night, I was not intent on it. Like, all the tables got filled up, right? And this couple comes in, and they're like, and they start walking over towards our direction. And I tell Billy, I'm like, fuck, they're gonna ask if they can sit with us. And it's not that I'm antisocial. There's just times I want to relax. It's a Sunday. I don't want to do the dance.
Right.
This is what I do for a living. This is how long I've lived here.
The boring
This
small
is-
talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they look at Billy and I, and then they like go to the couple next to us and ask them. And I'm like, Now I'm offended. Now I'm not fucking cool enough to ask to sit down. What the fuck? Fuck you. Fuck all y'all. But then I listened to the people, their conversation a little bit, and I was like, oh, never mind. I'm fine. Ugh.
I'll dodge the bullet.
Oh man. So I teased this in the first hour.
Yeah.
So since I have left 10 drink minimum, people have been asking me like why.
Yeah.
Right? My favorite one that I might lean into but might not
Okay.
is a lot of people think Billy wanted to come back
And
that
threw
we
you
have
off.
beef
Yeah.
and that Billy was like, Chris, I'm your best friend. You have to kick her off. Blah, blah, blah.
What do people think?
I don't know.
I wonder this. Like, do they just think? Like, I just feel like people never get to know me. They just have this idea of me, and then I'm just this mean dude.
But the thing that goes through my head is
Uh-huh.
like, do they think Chris is the asshole
Mhm.
or Billy is the asshole?
Well,
in that
nobody who meets Billy
situation?
thinks Billy's an asshole. But,
Right. But I was like,
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I was like, "Oh, fuck you, Billy." So you move back. You don't want to be on the podcast, and I leave the
He didn't.
podcast, and
He
you want to
didn't.
be on.
He didn't.
Oh, I
Yeah.
know. I'm just kidding. Totally kidding.
Oh no. Well, I mean, so there is a little truth to that,
Yeah.
and I'll explain it. It not in the way, not that like he's like I don't like
No,
Hollyanne.
it's not like a personal.
No,
thing.
no. Like Billy came back and he was fine doing the podcast. He just didn't want to do it when there was 4
Yeah.
people because he felt like 4 people was too much, especially if you have guests with 4 people.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
lot. And I get that. And also Sundays he worked. So
Yeah. No. And I understand that.
Yeah.
But there are people who are like, and I'm seriously considering just leaning into it. Just, yes, that's
Yeah.
exactly what happened.
and then that's why the shows are on Monday because he works on Sunday.
yeah, makes
And
sense.
you left, and you said, "Hey, I'm leaving," and I was like, "Okay, I'm totally fine with that." Like, you know,
Yeah.
you have things going on. You got your woman stuff. I'm just kidding. I did not say.
That is not how that
not how it went.
conversation went.
But so then I was like, so literally the first person I'm going to ask
Is
to replace is Billy because
Yeah.
he, number one, he lives here,
Yeah.
and number 2, he's done it for so long. It would be no issue with him just popping back in.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I can't do Sunday. And he was like, this is what I can't do. And he's like, and then if I have to practice, like I practice on Monday, so we have to get done and I have to go.
Yeah.
And, so there was no like Billy wanted to do it and needed to come back kind of.
No.
thing.
And just so everybody is aware,
Yeah.
like Billy, when he can, always comes to my open mic. By the way, he has
Mhm.
been in my open mic quite a few times. So I just think it's funny because also there was like a lot of people who, when I was on the show, for whatever reason, thought Chris and I had
Right.
beef.
I know I was going to do something mean and like make it seem like we had like, but I was like, yeah, I don't have it in me today.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Beef.
We have no beef.
None. 0.
We've never had beef.
As a matter of fact, one of my favorite things to do is the Santa Fe Brewing hosting October Fiesta. And when they asked me, I said yes, and then I forgot my friend had a wedding.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's the same day.
Same
Mhm.
day. And the first person,
Yeah.
they asked me right away. They said, "Who do you think could do this?" You were the only person I've asked.
Yeah.
I said,
No, Chris checks in with me
Yeah.
quite regularly.
and I mean, this is a thing that like if it gets fucked up, I'll be very sad. And I was like, Hollyanne will be the person who will fill in and do a great job. So
Oh, yeah.
for anyone out there who thinks anything, she was the first person I
Yeah,
asked,
we're-
and only.
We're friends above
Yeah,
anything else.
and we do gossip.
Oh my gosh, Chris and I love to gossip. I knew I was coming on the show today. So Saturday, I sent Chris a message and I was like, hey, am I still on for Monday? And I saved my cheese may for the show because I
Yeah.
was like, the only person I ever text like, hey, do you want to hear some gossip?
And I always say yes. Go on.
Yeah, no, it's been a funny transition. So like
Right.
I've been transitioning not just
Right.
from the podcast, but like having kids and being
Right.
a mom and like
Well-
all that stuff. And a lot of my friends have fallen off. Like
Yeah.
a lot of my friends that I thought were gonna be like there are such dicks.
Well, and the other thing too is you have to drive far to get here.
Oh yeah.
It's a like when we make fun of Rio Rancho, we're not only making fun of like that it's kind of like vanilla and generic, but like it's far.
It's far.
And people who live in big cities are like, well, that's not far.
Not only far, but it's inconvenient. The way you
Inconvenient.
have to come
Yeah.
because I have to drive
That's
like
the bigger, yeah.
through the city and then find
Yep.
a way and then
Mhm.
and like today I hit the freeway.
Yeah.
I left my house an hour early.
Yeah.
I hit the freeway. I was like, ah, fuck me.
Yeah.
It was
It's
just a parking lot.
everybody's like, well, you know, on a clean day, like you can get there in like 30, 45 minutes. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's 30 or 45 minutes.
But like on a day where it's like after work when
Mhm.
everybody's trying to rush home, it's not 30 and it's inconvenient because of the way the city is built.
Yes.
And not Rio Rancho, Albuquerque,
yeah.
you know.
And I don't
It's almost like we
understand-
don't want you to go there.
And I think like the placement of Rio Rancho also
Right.
makes it awkward
Yeah.
because you can't have like a direct exit
No.
onto the freeway.
There's really only 3. There's
It's
like
almost like they didn't build it like it was a real town
Well,
or something.
I guess there's no,
They
there's
did
multiple. There's Bernalillo,
Yeah.
there's Paseo,
Yeah.
there's Coors,
Alameda also.
in Alameda, yeah, Unser.
But I guess maybe where I live in Rio Rancho,
Mm-hmm.
I like none of those are like quick
Well,
options.
and also like when you say that, someone's like, oh, well, that's a lot of different pathways. Okay, but they're also choices. So
Mhm.
two of them are one direction.
Yeah.
And then all the rest are the other direction.
Yeah.
Now, say you make a choice to go one direction or the other, you've sealed off the other ones. They're done. to
They're
you.
done. You can't go anywhere else.
Yeah.
And
And then- and
Alameda
then it-
sucks butt.
And then if the choice you made, one of the options has a wreck on it or
yeah.
construction or whatever, all the rest are done.
I am dreading Balloon Fiesta.
Oh,
by the
fuck.
way.
Oh no, they did a little new off ramp that's supposed to help.
I don't think it's gonna help.
Mayor Keller sucks.
I don't think it's gonna help.
No.
And we're going to Balloon Fiesta this year
And-
because I found out Hamster's never been.
What?
Whoa.
Hamster's never been.
He doesn't know the misery of Balloon
No,
Fiesta.
and so he doesn't even understand. And then also we have kids who have never been.
You're going to
So
wake
I'm
him
like,
up at 4 in the morning
Fuck.
and drag him down there.
I think
Drag
we're
him
gonna
down
go
there
to a balloon
in the
glow.
fucking traffic.
You
Get
you
there,
to sleep for an
fucking
hour in
cold,
traffic.
Yeah.
tired, and then you get there and you're like, "Well, we're here," and then they go,
It's canceled.
"Ladies and gentlemen, it's too windy today. We're not gonna fly." What the fuck?
Yeah. I think we're gonna go to a balloon glow at night.
Too many people are on alcohol and cocaine. We can't take the balloons up. Just kidding. And you know, this year is probably going to be the largest ever.
Well, because it's like what, the 50th anniversary? or something?
and the first one since we've opened up that's
Oh.
like full throttle.
Oh fuck.
Usually we get about 1 million. I think it's going to be like 1.5 million people this year.
I'm going to agree with that estimate.
Ross is like, ha. So the reason why I say that is, did you go to the state fair?
No.
Fucking Smiley
Fuck
and
no.
so Kelly and Sarah are like, hey, will you guys come and do this game show for us?
Oh, I saw. Yeah.
This was a Sunday night, right? Sunday night. You would think a Sunday night, like people are like, I got to work tomorrow.
No.
Smiley and I'm like, well, we got free passes, Smiley. Let's go early so we can enjoy the fair. We get there an hour to 2 hours before we're supposed to perform. We walk in the gate. And I shit you not, right away, I tell Smiley, you can ask him. I go, I immediately regret this. Did I not?
That is direct. That's
There was
verbatim. That is what
more
he said.
people than I've ever seen at the state fair.
Here's the thing.
More than I've ever seen.
I am not a state fair person.
Oh,
I
man.
used to be, like, when I was a kid. I loved it because I knew I was going to get a bunch of junk food. I was probably going to get like toys, whatever. But
That's good.
I, as an adult, am not.
Fuck, man.
I hate people. I hate groups of people.
Oh man.
I
Strollers.
hate everything. I am a stroller person,
Yeah.
right? But I got one of those like smaller strollers, and I don't take it in places that are super fucking
Oh.
crowded. I carry Ian like a backpack, like Yoda on Luke's back. You
I know-
know what I mean?
I'm not one to complain. No, I am.
Oh yes.
Let me tell you my complaints about the state fair this year.
Oh god.
Very little airbrush. We couldn't find
That
airbrush
sucks.
stuff. You go to the state fair to get the Marilyn Monroe as a gangster with 2 guns and a handkerchief over her mouth airbrush t-shirt.
Yeah. Why else go?
None of that.
Why would you go if you
Right?
can't get airbrush?
So then, okay, you know that big area where like they have the stage and stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, they had this portable bar, and when I say portable, I mean it was big
On wheels and stuff.
It was on wheels, but it had
Oh.
like it was weird. It was like a fuck. I don't know what size would you say it was. It was bigger than this this
Oh.
building.
It was about the size of this room.
It was yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, about the size of the room, and it had stools and TVs, and people are watching football
All built in to the
outside,
rollable bar.
outside, like because it's like outdoor
Why go to the state fair?
to watch football. Like what in the fuck, dude? So here's your alcohol choices: Budweiser, Bud Light.
Jack Daniels.
No.
Really?
I think there was a seltzer option.
There was a seltzer option. What was the other beer? Michelob Ultra.
Ugh.
And then a seltzer option, Jello shots, and I want to say that was it.
Wow.
And then Bud Light comes in a red bottle now.
I saw that.
What is
and
going on with that?
It was funny. I was watching the show because I usually watch while I'm getting ready to go to the open mic.
Yeah.
And so I'll have it on. And if I interact, you guys should feel special because I have interrupted my makeup,
Oh, nice.
you know. But so I was listening to it, and Hamster was walking by the bathroom, and he heard, yeah, and Bud Light is now in a red bottle, blah, blah, blah. And Hamster goes, well, that's just fucked up.
It's fucked up. And like,
And
you know,
he's a beer professional. You know
he's
what
a
I
beer-
mean?
He's a beer professional.
And
he knows.
He knows. He was like,
Yeah.
how do you know if you want to talk to a person or not?
Right.
And then I think you guys said the same thing.
Yeah.
Like you used to be able to see from across the room.
If someone was a piece of shit or
because
not.
like Bud Heavy I can deal with.
Yeah.
But Bud Light, come on.
Yeah. It's in a red bottle. Yeah.
It
With
tastes
a
like
Blue
gross.
twist off cap.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
the
but
only way
you
you can
can't
tell.
see that.
Well, no, once they twist the cap off, you can't
You
tell
can't
at all.
tell.
No.
Yeah. As a
Um,
beer professional, Hamster has taken a stand and he thinks that it is just downright unprofessional and fucked up.
You know, I'm not a drinker of either, but if I have to, I'll do the heavy. And yeah, again,
He did mention though that there is a canning shortage.
yeah.
So he said that it very well
Oh,
could be
fair enough.
that
They just labeled the red ones.
yeah, because he said that like even Ex Novo had experienced
I gotcha.
it and stuff like that. But he said still
Yeah.
lazy. That's what
Lazy.
he said.
And I'm trying to think what else I did not care for. The thing I did care for, man, is fried moon pie. Big
sounds amazing.
fan of that.
I had to work really hard to find something there I could eat.
Yeah. And then it was really overpriced for nothing.
It was, I mean, it was
Yeah.
overpriced.
Oh yeah.
It was overpriced for sure, but
Mine was ridiculously bad.
yeah. Well, you didn't even get the
Oh.
bread with it.
No.
You like requested not to have bread.
Well, I thought the bowl would be bigger because stupid me.
Oh.
I got a
You
Euro
ordered-
bowl.
You ordered off the menu.
Yeah.
You ordered something that was
Stupidly.
literally not on the menu.
I didn't fuck that up the next time. I went that next Thursday and I got a Rex's hamburger,
There
like
you
you're
go.
supposed
Nice.
to.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was
But-
the one that got a euro. I was
more-
like, what,
more
what
people-
can I have here?
More people than I've ever seen there.
No, that sounds gross.
So
I
what
hate
does that tell you about Bloomfiest? Bloomfiest is going to be
Nasty.
insane.
Yeah, I'm gonna be miserable the whole.
I'm just
fucking
going to buy
time.
groceries and cook at home.
Yeah, just stay at home the
and then,
whole fucking
and then
time.
set up a Gatling gun in the front. You know, I'm that guy that's like, someone came and rang the doorbell today.
Ew.
Exactly. Like someone's like, and I'm all, are you kidding me?
Are you dying?
Yeah. And they were like, is blah, blah, blah here? And I'm like, who? Like, I didn't even answer the door. I just talked
Like
through
they
the
didn't
door.
text first? Like why
No,
would you not text
I
to
don't-
make sure that that person lives where you're at?
They didn't know who these are unsolicited people coming to the door.
I don't like that.
And I didn't like Brody's. I look out the window and I see them and I'm like, these look like either religious people or people selling something. So at that point, I don't go, hold on, let me pick my dog up and put her away.
Yeah.
I
no.
just let her hit the fucking door. Like she's like, "Rah!" and like hitting the metal door. And I'm just talking to the door. And I'm like, can I help you? And they're all, is blah, blah, blah here. And I'm like, who? And it's not me or Billy.
right.
And then I said, there's no one here by that name. And I didn't want them to even see what I look like. And they were like, okay. And they walked away. And I was like,
Ugh.
kill, Brody, kill.
So when I lived out in Estancia with my ex-husband, We had like a big long driveway, right? And
Yeah.
like a swing on our porch. And these Jehovah's Witnesses would come
Ugh.
every single day.
What?
And
That's when you get the pit bull or the.
oh, well, I had a pit bull and a mastiff, okay?
Yeah.
And they've roamed freely out in my yard. But so, and really at the time, you had to worry more about my cat than my pit bull, to be
Wow.
honest. But so these people would come, and so I started just fucking with them. Like I would be out there with like a beer and a cigarette at like 8 a.m.
Topless.
Pretty much. And that still didn't deter them. So
Y'all
one
want to
day,
come in for some hot dish?
so the thing about my mastiff was,
Oh man.
his name was Brinks, and he was dumb as a bag of rocks, but he was so protective. But he wouldn't get you when you were walking towards us. It was as you were leaving. So if you left our house or were walking away from the house or you were in the shop and you were leaving, that's when he would get you, which if you think about it, that's pretty smart,
Mhm.
right? Nobody was getting away with anything leaving our house. But I used to hold him. I used to hold him back from getting at the Jehovah's Witnesses. And this particular day, I said, you know what?
Go.
I have told you respectfully a
Yeah.
number of times I'm not interested.
No, thank you.
So here's the deal. If you don't want to meet Jesus right now,
You're about to.
run. And I let my mastiff go.
Oof.
And I was like, look, here's the deal. If my dog bites you, at this point, you're trespassing.
Oh man.
And I have never seen people move so fast
Fucking
in my
A.
life because that dog was huge.
I knew this dude when I was in college. He had not Dobermans, but what are the other big dog?
Rottweilers?
Rottweilers. And he had this sign that said, if you can make it from my front porch to the gate in 5 seconds, you'll probably make it. And one of his dogs was so big, these Rottweilers, it jumped the fence, and when it landed, it broke its own back and died.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I was like, God dang. But like those are the dogs like that would fuck no. Like pit bulls are pretty bad if you want them to be.
It's
Yeah.
like some Akita action.
Like fucking
Yeah.
Rottweilers though. Jeez, Jesus Christ.
I don't know. My pit bull was like the sweetest dog I think I've ever had.
This dog stinks.
And when I had her,
Mhm.
my cat was the scary one.
Oh,
Like
you
people
had the
would,
dog? Bless your heart.
my dog, people would walk in and they'd be so afraid. I'm like, oh, that's not the one you have to worry about.
Mhm.
I'm like,
Nope.
this one right here, this Maine Coon,
Oh fuck
Oh,
yeah.
he
Damn.
will hunt you.
Oh man.
And my ex-husband one time was yelling at me. I mean, he yelled at me a lot, and the cat did not like that. He would literally like puff up,
Mhm.
and then sometimes he would just pee on my ex-husband while he was yelling, and I was like, holy shit.
And there we go.
Yeah. Or he would claw him in his sleep. And I was
Oh,
like, I think
fuck.
he's trying to slit your throat right now.
He's
Like,
all
Cats are the sweetest little creatures.
Oh,
I
man.
love
yeah, as I'm all shredded up.
him.
Someone's
That's
like,
love. That is cat love.
I
Right
know.
There.
I know. Someone the other day is like, "What's wrong with your arms?" I was like, I have a cat, and they're like, "Oh, I thought so." And they're like, "Is he just an asshole?" And I was like, "Actually, he used to be, and now he's not." And they're like, "Don't look like it." And I was like, "No, I'm the asshole.
Yeah.
I have to like goad him into doing all of this." And they're like, "Why would you want to?" I was like, "No, I just like he wants to play, and he wants to play with the dog, and the dog won't play with him. So I go to play with him, and I have to goad him into it. But like sometimes I don't. But like he just doesn't know how to play. He kind of does, but he kind of doesn't. He does
Yeah.
that back foot kick thing that
Oh, yeah,
fucks you
yeah.
up, and that's what cuts me. So
The back foot kicks.
and then, but I was on a date, and she's like, "What's wrong with your arm?" And I looked at it, and it was like blood all over. I was like, "Oh man, I didn't even know that was there." And she was like, "Really?" I was like, "Nah." So it didn't hurt. I was like, "Nah, probably. I don't know."
the cat that we have now is like the sweetest cat I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like he lets Ian flop on him, grab his whiskers, like
Oh,
grab his paws. He does not give a shit. But the thing about him is like when you pet him,
uh-huh.
he doesn't know how to pull his knives into his little mittens.
Oh.
And so he'll get you with his little
doing
toe knives.
when he's doing the
biscuits.
making biscuits.
Yeah. And that's when he gets you. It's
Yeah.
like, it hurts. Or if the dog barks too loud and he's sitting in my lap, then the back feet.
See, Smiley used to do that when he was making biscuits. It's all,
Well, I grew up in New Mexico, so it's like when cats are doing that, they're making tortillas.
making tortillas.
Oh, yeah.
Rolling them. All right, we got to get out of here so you can go to get to your open mic.
I sure do.
I want to thank Hollyanne for filling in for Billy.
Thanks for having me. I miss you guys.
Yeah.
We miss you too.
Do you want to promote anything before you leave?
Yes. So here in just a little bit, I will be over at Founders for my open mic. Come check it out. It's pretty fun. We've had some pretty killer nights.
Yeah, I've been hearing.
Yeah, they've been so funny. And then this Friday I'll be at Dry Heat at 9 p.m. doing a cool comedy show. On Saturday I'll be in Santa Fe at Santa Fe Brewing for their Oktoberfest.
I'm so jealous of that, man.
I'm excited. Thanks, Chris. I'm really
Do you have
excited.
a ride home?
I think Hamster is gonna drive
Oh my
me back, but we
God.
have to figure it
Are you
out.
going to be hound? Like, I get bucked up.
Well, the thing is,
I'm so jealous. You're going to get one of the. Will you bring me a glass? I'll pay for it.
yeah, sure,
A mug.
Yeah.
All right.
of course.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. The Stein.
Yeah.
And so I'll be there all day hosting, and
Mhm.
that should be fun. And then October 16th, I'll be at the Mom Expo. And then October 30th is probably the thing I'm most excited for is Night of Living Cover Comics. My set I have been working on for about a year. So it's going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I'm actually going to be at New Mexico Beer Fest Saturday morning.
Oh,
I'm going to get day drunk before the wedding.
that's the
I-
perfect way to go to
I don't
a
want the
wedding.
Santa Fe Brewing people like, oh, he wanted to go to that beer fest. No, I'm going to the wedding. The wedding's at 5.
Yeah.
So I'm going to the New Mexico Beer Fest at like noon. Or I think it's 11 when I get to go because we got the VIP. So I'll be there if people want, if you see me, say hi. Just walk up and say it normally. Don't build up your courage. Just do it. Just
Don't
let it
be
go.
weird.
Just
Don't make it weird.
Don't make it weird. But I'll be there.
The other
Mhm.
thing. I'm
Mhm.
so
Go
sorry.
ahead.
You just reminded me.
Mhm.
So the next 2 weekends at Ex Novo in Corrales, they're going to be opening at 8 a.m. only on the weekend for balloon watching and beer.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, next Saturday we won't be there because
Oh, God, I'm not driving all the way over there. Fuck that. That sounds like what, Chris, would you rather do? Murder a bus full of people or drive over to Ex Novo to watch balloons? Murder the
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, no,
they
that's
both
fair.
sound like a lot of work.
I live very close to
Yeah.
it, so
No,
it's not
yeah,
a big
yeah.
deal. But just in case people who like live in Rio Rancho or around Corrales and you don't want to like drive all the way to Balloon Fiesta, Ex
Yeah.
Novo will be open at 8 a.m. You can hang out in the crowd, watch the balloons, drink some beer, not have to drive across the river and
God
try to deal
damn.
with
Oh.
all that shit. Because for us, I'm not going to have to like hit the
Fuck.
traffic.
No.
And I think that sounds much better than going to the balloon field. But
No, you're right.
You know?
You're right. But it's like heading that direction
Yeah.
on any of the outlets, any streets.
no, it's going to be nuts. But if
Oof.
you're on that side of town, definitely check it out. I think we'll be there with Ian
Yeah.
on Sunday.
I have my very Albuquerque centric joke about the balloon fiesta, and it has yet to not hit. I tell people, I'm like, yeah, as Albuquerqueans, we all do the same thing. We're like, balloon fiesta comes and we forget, and we're like, let's go out to eat. And then you drive up and you go, fuck. And everybody goes, yep.
Yep.
Yep. Like,
Yeah, this is the week you're supposed to go get some groceries and make
Did-
some food at home
Yeah.
because you're not going to get food anywhere else.
No, fuck no.
Not even like the fast food places.
No.
It's
no.
like packed everywhere. It's
Well,
packed.
because our population doubles.
Yeah.
Like,
It's so funny. Like people who are not from here are like, oh, you must be so excited for
No.
Balloon Fiesta. I'm like, no,
no.
I hate it. I'm over
Mhm.
it. I didn't even like it as a kid.
It's neat when
I'm
you
not a morning person. So
okay, it's cool around that time when you get up to go to work and there's balloons in the sky.
Yeah,
That's cool
beautiful.
as shit. But we get that. Like we get that because we live here. That's what happens. Now, when you're like, fuck, I've got to get across town and I have to get on the freeway,
no.
and the big van with the basket on the back pulls out in front of you on the
Ugh.
freeway going 45,
No.
and you almost ram into the back of them.
Hate it.
Hate it. Hate it awful. But hey, come here.
Yeah.
Smiley, like you have some stuff to talk about.
Oh no, just one thing. Just the one thing. Still in this fun contest at the moment. Please vote for me on faceofhorror.org/2022/James-Smiley. And
You got it.
I'm having a great time on it. I mean, I don't have any acting roles right now, so this is basically what I'm putting my creative input
Yeah.
into.
All your
Awesome.
eggs in one horror basket.
I'm like, it's
Oh,
it's
man.
fun. There's a charity, and I don't expect to win, but that's
Yeah.
just my own pessimistic
But it'd be
self.
cool if you did.
It'd be great.
Yeah, if we can get you up there. I mean, even if you're in the running, I mean, it'd be pretty cool. Just goes to show the power of the 10 drink minimum.
Yes. Oh, also,
Mhm.
if you missed hearing me on 10 Drink Minimum, you can now check me out on the Sleep Optional podcast.
We're gonna just completely wipe
Are
that
you?
out of it. No,
Okay.
I don't. I'm just kidding.
I feel like we're totally different demographics because we talk
I
about
know.
mom stuff.
I'm kidding.
So
You're a
Sorry,
podcast. You think you're better than me?
no, definitely
I'm
not.
just kidding.
Absolutely not.
JK. LOL.
You've been around for 16 years.
Yeah.
And we've been around for 6 episodes.
16 weeks. I'm kidding. So then I did see this. So I went to Castle the other day.
Uh-huh.
I go to Castle a lot. I walk in and
The coffee shop, not the porn shop.
not the I have to say someone's like the porn shop. I was like, no, there's a coffee shop by my house called Castle Coffee. So I walk in and there's two guys and they have microphones. And the guy has the little red interface that like musicians use in his MacBook, right?
Right.
And I look over and they're like talking and I just kind of stop and I look at it and I'm all, and I keep going and I was like, you guys allow podcasters in here? And they laugh because they know, because they podcast and I podcast. And they're all, yeah, those guys come in here. Like, do you know them? I was like, no, but I judged their setup. and they're like, oh, you did? I was like, is it not good? And I was like, no, it's good if, this was like 10 years ago, but no, I was just being fucking spidey.
You were being cheeky.
Cheeky and spidey. But no, I don't even know what they do. And they're like, well, I think I said it's very musician centric, which is what we always had to do back in the day because all the equipment was made for musicians. And he goes, oh, I think that guy is a musician. And I was like, figures. But I don't know. I was like, don't you know who I am, bro? No, I didn't say that. But I just thought it was funny. Someone was in there podcasting. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I brought that up, but I was like, oh, wow, podcasters are about.
Because you're a nerd.
Oh,
I've never gotten to do that to you.
Yeah, you did.
That's very exciting.
Yeah, and so that's it. We're gonna head out. I'm gonna head over to Hollyanne's open mic after
Woot woot.
food somewhere. Where's food? Where's food?
Rare food.
So yeah, come out and say hello tonight at Founders.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Bye.
And with that, we are
we are
10 drink
drink
minimum.
minimum.